Olympic hero Kurt Angle, and you're listening to the We Are Wrestling podcast.
Yo, listen, this is the best wrestler alive, Platinum Max, and you're listening to the We Are Wrestling podcast.
Hey everybody, Eric Bischoff here, and you are listening to We Are Wrestling podcast.
Hello everyone, this is Nunzio, former WWE Cruiserweight Champion, and you're watching We Are Wrestling podcast.
We Are Wrestling podcast. Check them out, man.
Stay tuned, listen to the podcast. Best one, Donnie might teach you a thing or two.
We Are Wrestling. And if you don't listen to it, then it's one-on-one with The Undertaker. We are wrestling.
What is up? We are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide. I'm the host with the most, Mr. We Are Wrestling himself, the We Are Wrestling Predictions Champion, the best one, Donnie here with...
What is going on, everybody? Danny Huckins here, man. 1/3 or 1/4 of the We Are Wrestling podcast, whichever way you want to word it. Appreciate you guys hanging out. We got a jam-packed episode today.
Ben, man, the Asian sensation, the man with no introduction needed. What's going on?
What's going on, man? What's going on? We are wrestling. Knee howdy to every single one of you guys. Like he said, we have a jam-packed show today, and it's going to be a little bit of a different kind of format. You guys will see what we're talking about here in a bit. But I hope you guys had a good week all the way around. But before we get into all of our fun shit, Donnie, what's up, man?
I can't believe it. We're 200 episodes in.
Hey,
We Are
Donnie.
Wrestling Pod.
It's pretty deep.
You
What's
may
up,
be the
Deshaun?
We Are Wrestling prediction champion, but I'm the U.S. champion, bitch.
You know how many of those I have? If you want to find out, you can go over to my Best One Donnie YouTube channel and find out. But
Cheap plug.
we're here to
I mean,
talk
I'm not a champion
pro
at all, but
wrestling.
I am Batman. So
Well, I
We
am.
should make this episode a show and tell.
Since this is show and tell, I might as well show off. I am the lethal weapon. Oh, we got a great episode
I
lined
love
up for you. Awesome We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there. But before we get into it, if you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already and you're listening to this episode, wherever you get your podcast, Apple, Spotify, Google, wherever you listen, leave us a 5-star review, not just any review, a Best One review, and download this episode and give us a follow. If you're not following We Are Wrestling over on Facebook, Instagram, X, or even TikTok, what the hell are you doing? Give us a follow on there for more additional wrestling news, clips, content you're not going to be getting here on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel. But if you're not a We Are Wrestling Maniac yet already over on the YouTube channel, where you can catch these episodes live every Wednesday, 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You get the best pro wrestling content, reactions, vlogs, live watch-alongs for all the AEW pay-per-views and WWE PLEs, and you're not a part of the thousands of subscribers. We recommend you guys to hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications, because of course, you already know the grind is real.
woo, woo, woo. Yeah.
So, how's your guys' week been?
Woo, woo, woo. Got his ass taken out by Randy Orton, man.
Hated that.
Who else better? At least it was Randy and not fucking Akira Tozawa. That's all that matters. Happy soon to be birthday, by the way. And you're going to Disney. Fuck yeah, I love that for you, man. Anyways, continue. Sorry, I had to tell somebody happy birthday.
Well, we got lots of We Are Wrestling Maniacs hanging out with us on a Wednesday evening. We got We Are Wrestling member Bradley here in the live chat. Over on Facebook, we're live as well. Deshaun giving us some fire emojis.
What's going on,
Love
man?
that. We got Dakota Rice. Happy Wednesday, everyone. I'm so happy
going
for
on, Dakota?
Johnny wrestling. Hell
Yes,
yeah.
man. Shout out to him. He is going up against Miles Bourne at Stand and Deliver, man.
That's right. Josh Toy Show. What's up, Donnie, Ben,
What's
and
up,
Danny?
Josh?
Great seeing you at Big Event this weekend. Oh, we're going to talk about that in just a moment. And we got We Are Wrestling member Aya here in the live chat. What is going on? We got so many people. Tyrus. Oh, man. We got everybody here. I love it. Grind
Tyrus,
is
man.
real.
What's going on?
Tyrus is the goat, dude.
Tyrus is the GOAT.
The goat, dude. Oh, woo. I mean,
So,
that's not a, I mean,
how was your guys' week?
That's been pretty good, man. I can't really complain. I mean, it's only Wednesday, so I mean, we're only halfway through, but I mean, we're halfway there. So I mean, I can't really say it's been horrible. It's been pretty good.
It's been a good week, man. Full of content or whatever. I am extremely dangerously close to hitting 8,000 followers on TikTok, which is like just the fact that there's 8,000 people that like me enough to want to follow me is insane to me. So I'm happy about that.
Man,
I've been on cloud nine
since
since the Zach Gowen interview last week. If you haven't seen that, make sure you guys go back and watch the last week's episode. Went extremely well. And it's only up from here, man. It's only up from here.
It's only up from here. And I was very surprised on how well the interview turned out, because that was our first time really doing a live interview. And it was our first former WWE superstar on the show. And there was no lagging. There was no problems with the internet. So shout out to Zach Gowen for being just such a professional. So easy to talk to. Great conversations, great questions. We got great clips that are going to be going across social media throughout the week.
Paul, solid chat
right away, but it will be coming out.
It helps that his son is a fan of the current product or whatever. So he's been watching it. So not only was it an interview, but it was almost like he was like joining us to like, talk
Kinda
about
give
the
his insight
WrestleMania
and his
build. So
thought.
that was pretty awesome. So
fuck yeah, dude,
having
I
a
love
nice
that.
conversation, and like that's kind of like how we want to do these interviews moving forward.
That's
We're
the
gonna
only
try to
kind of
bring on
people-
people once a month.
That's
we
the
also
kind of
got
people.
we also got an unknown story or an untold story about Vince McMahon in that episode,
love
which
that.
is awesome.
We did.
Yeah, no, I see that's the only kind of people that I would love to have on this podcast, like the ones that genuinely like that felt very blessed to do what they did no matter how long they did it, like people that genuinely love to tell a story, that love to talk to other people, like just people like that, not just anybody,
Exactly. And that's like the way like we want to do these interviews moving forward, because we're not really looking for clicks. We're looking to have great conversations. We want the We Are Wrestling Maniacs who are in the live chat to get to have the experience that we're having. And that's ultimately the goal at the end of the day. So cheers
Big
to
facts.
that.
Cheers.
But real quick, Danny, I want you to talk about this picture here that surfaced on social media.
Yes, man. W79 from my stream. He joins my stream every week or whatever. He even joined. He was at SmackDown and he tweeted me that photo because I was asking. I was like, where are you sitting? Let us know.
Was he hard at all?
He was sort of up in the rafters or whatever. Obviously, like I can't really blame him with the fucking outrageous ticket prices.
No,
as of late or whatever.
Can't blame him at all.
But like,
robbery.
he didn't tell me beforehand that he was. I told him to like make a sign or whatever, like make it a very visible sign. Like I didn't know he was gonna add me or We Are Wrestling to the sign. He didn't let me know beforehand. So he tweeted me that photo. I shared it with Donnie and I obviously retweeted it. So We Are Wrestling
posted it as well.
Like we have a small fan base, compared to a lot of other channels, but I feel like everybody that watches us is dedicated to us. You know what I mean? Like we always see the same people here in the chat every week.
Yeah,
it's not like they watch us one week and then take a month off and then come back. Like everybody is consistently here.
Yeah,
and I will take the people in the chat that we have right now over 100,000 people that watch every once in a while. So I appreciate
I have the perfect
one of you guys.
I have the perfect word to explain that.
For sure.
Quality over quantity, baby.
I agree.
Absolutely.
100%.
But while Danny had some Danny acts running wild at WWE, I got to meet Danny's favorite guy this past weekend, JD from New York, at the latest House of Glory show.
How was that experience for you?
I was just going to say, Danny, I know it was boiling you a little bit that I got to meet your idol.
I mean,
it was boiling.
He's not really my idol. I don't want to say that.
The way that people in their 40s looked up
you
to
admire
Hulk Hogan,
his work. Like
that's how you are with JD from New York. You have a big poster of him right in front of your computer.
Yeah, right.
I'm not saying you suck his dick, but I'm just saying like you admire his work and like his style,
his
of
work ethic.
Things.
Like
yeah.
I know, like, because I watch his streams a lot. I know I know the amount of work that he does put in, and I feel like he gets a bad rap. People listen to clicks instead of actually listening to what he's saying. And 9 times out of 10 is what he's saying is usually what we talk about on the stream.
What you got to understand about a lot of these people is they take their personalities, like they turn it up to 10. And you also have to remember a lot of journalists, you kind of have to be aggressive, like you kind of have to do certain and say certain things that a lot of people don't want to fucking hear. Everybody has an opinion, man. And he's got a following. And I got to respect anybody that puts their nose to the grind, regardless if I agree with them or not.
Exactly. And that's like what I want to say too. Like getting the opportunity to meet JD, like he's just like us, content creator.
He's passionate.
He was very reserved. Like he was very quiet, like focused on doing his commentary job at House of Glory, because that's what he was there for. And I will say I had a great meet and greet experience with him. Didn't want to bother him too much because he was setting up, but very nice guy. He's on the grind. Clearly he's doing something right. He's got a following. Yeah, there's some things I disagree with, but at the end of the day, I always will respect the hustle. And JD, man, he's got quite a following, and he puts the work in, and he backs it up.
Yeah,
so absolutely.
You got to respect a motherfucker that pays their dues, dude. Like you have to, regardless.
And honestly, the thing I respect about him the most too is that he's not afraid to call out Sean Ross Sapp. He's not afraid to call out Dave Meltzer. Like he's not afraid to call out like these journalists. And I like that because
You have to.
You have to, exactly. Because a lot of the shit is bullshit.
Exactly, you know.
But now, with that being said, let's get into our We Are Wrestling podcast, Power of the Poll. Every week, we tell all you We Are Wrestling Maniacs to go vote. Every Wednesday morning, we put up a new Power of the Poll. We give you guys 1 week to cast your vote over on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel in our community tab. And we asked you guys, what's the worst WWE Championship design? And here are the results for this week's Power of the Poll. The 24/7 title won by a landslide. 64% of you guys picked the 24/7 title, while 18% picked the Petty Tag Team Championship. 14% picked the Butterfly Diva title, and only 5% picked the Blue Universal Championship. Do we agree with this Power of the Poll this week?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Absolutely.
that's not the Power of the Poll. What's up, JD? There we go.
Yeah, I agree.
I agree too. Like, you know, with the other titles, even though, like, you know, they're sort of mediocre and they're not, you know, they're not that good looking, they still have a little bit of personality as to where the 24/7 title, I feel like that is one of the most laziest fucking title designs I've ever seen in my life.
So I'm gonna be honest too, like solid on everybody for literally choosing the correct order too. Like the blue one is honestly the best. Then the Divas was the most unique, and then you had to choose the lesser between two evils, and they really chose the lesser. So I got to give it to everybody that voted because this is the order it should be in.
I disagree with that. I do think the Divas title is better than the Blue Universal.
Oh, eat a dick. Eat a dick. No,
I'm
no.
sorry, dude.
one of the
I
titles,
love
like-
the butterfly design. It's unique. I love a unique title.
Listen. The butterfly design, cool, but it literally looks like it could be like ripped off the cover of a fucking 90s chick flick about.
You know what
fucking witches.
you know what the Divas title kind of reminds me of a little bit? Donnie, you'll know this reference. I don't know if Ben will, because he was never really like a major like TNA fan. But remember when Jeff Hardy was heel and he made that the world title, like he designed it his own?
Yes, of course I remember that title.
Yep,
that's kind of what the Diva title reminds me of a little bit.
I'm familiar
I
with
don't
Jeff
know.
shit.
I really hate two championships here, and that's the 24/7 title and that petty looking tag belt. But I think the fans got it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Can't
even
argue.
though the other titles are horrible, like at least they look like they have detail within them. The 24/7 title is like, it's literally nothing.
It's like an old school clock.
It says champion 24/7 in the WWE logo at the top. Like there's nothing else.
Yeah, no, it's stupid.
Such a disgrace that like Mick Foley was the one to introduce the belt.
He should have just fucking.
Well, he
made the
didn't
hardcore
interview.
title
He
come
shit
back.
on that. He shit on that. He was like, I didn't know what I was presenting. I mean, they should have just brought back the hardcore title.
That's what I said. Like, just bring out like a modernized version of the hardcore, dude. Like the fuck.
Oh man, like it worked for a little bit. Like Drake Maverick and R-Truth did some cool stuff, but after that, like the title completely fell off.
See, I feel like the hardcore title, though, off topic, was kind of also a missed opportunity. I feel like it shouldn't have been treated like the 24/7 title and should have only been defended in a hardcore match.
Oh, I love the 24/7 rules during that time. It was too good.
See, I would like it if anybody can challenge you at any time in 24 hours, but it has to be a hardcore match.
Oh, everything was hardcore in that.
I know, but still, like, yeah, okay.
No, I get what you're saying, though. I get it.
Like,
But
have a specific
congratulations to the 24/7 title for accomplishing something, and that is the most ugliest WWE championship.
Literally the only thing it should ever accomplish when it comes to winning anything. So,
well,
yeah.
Good news to the Maniacs that love to vote. Next week's Power of the Poll is up. You can cast your vote, and we're asking you guys, what's the funniest wrestling botch? Because next Wednesday is April Fool's, and the four options you have are Shockmasters WCW debut, Vince McMahon tearing his quads, Titus O'Neil slip and slide during his Rumble entrance, and the explosive barbed wire botch.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm torn between two.
I feel like everybody's torn between two from
Is it
what
the
I
same?
saw.
Is it the same two that I'm thinking of?
Yeah, I can tell
same-
you right now what it is. It's
Which
Vince
ones?
McMahon's quads and Titus
Oh.
O'Neil slip and slide.
Nah, see, for me, it's Titus O'Neil slip and slide and the embarrassment of whatever the fuck that explosion was in AEW. Like, I understand what they were going for, but it failed so bad that it will never not be fucking funny.
I'm gonna go with Titus O'Neil because I feel like that was the one botch in WWE history to where they actually made fun of it on television.
That and the fact that like everybody was like free to laugh because I guarantee even the back wasn't even pissed. They were.
It was
dying.
fun. It was funny. Somebody did an interview. They were talking about that moment. And they were like, "Yeah, I'm in the ring fighting. I hear Titus. I see him coming run down to the ring. I look back. He disappears."
That's how he became a Hall of Famer.
Dude. That and I'm not even gonna fucking lie. If there was any chance of that dude being any kind of like dominant force, was a cut completely short after that moment. You cannot come back from shit like
Could you imagine if he was WWE champion,
he got
goes running
suspended
down to the ring and fucking trips?
Yo, did you know that Titus
up.
O'Neil got suspended for hugging Vince McMahon?
No, he didn't. He was.
That shit.
He wasn't hugging Vince McMahon.
What did he do then? Touch him or
He
something?
was no. There was they were doing something on the stage with all the superstars or whatever. It was like a memorial or 10-bell salute. It was something, and Vince McMahon was going ahead of everybody else or whatever. Or can't remember the full story, but Titus O'Neil like grabbed him to like hold him back, and yeah, so.
Yeah, but Titus has done so many bad things. That's why he's an ambassador, not a wrestler.
Yeah.
Well, guys, you can go vote on next week's Bubba Power.
That's how
poll.
can't breathe.
Because see, in WWE, you fail upward. You assault the boss, and you become an ambassador for the
I
company.
can't breathe.
And the funny thing is, his boss is in this category because he tore his quad.
Yeah, because of Batista and John Cena, they fucked up the ending of the Rumble.
Next week's Bubba Power of the poll. You can cast your vote. You have 1
Ben is
week to think
fucking
about
dying,
this.
bro.
Ben's gonna need a lot of time to think about it. Well, a couple things we can advertise and talk about real quick. The brand new We Are Wrestling podcast, Unreal shirts,
Best
available
shirt
now
ever.
on ProWrestlingTees.com. The boys will have their shirts before WrestleMania. That is guaranteed.
See, if you guys order your shirts now, you'll get your shirt before me and Ben. Like I don't even have my shirt yet, so
everything hurts.
There's an issue. You guys want to get the new We Are Wrestling shirt before a member of the We Are Wrestling podcast, then you're gonna want to go to Pro Wrestling Tees and order the shirt. Like an advertisement, man.
Oh yeah, I think it's the best We Are Wrestling shirt we have made.
Dude, my
Hands
laugh
down.
duration was longer than my own fucking title reign, dude. I get it. I get it.
Well,
Oh,
also
shit.
another thing we could plug, WrestleMania. We Are Wrestling will be doing 2-night watch along. Night 1, we'll be having all the We Are Wrestling maniacs here. Well, the ones that you do normally see in our big PLEs, they'll be over here watching it with us. Night 2 will be more exclusive. It'll be Rage, myself, and we'll be hanging out with you guys watching WrestleMania 42.
Oh, yeah.
Danny will be live on his channel as well. Also, Zach Gowen we had on the We Are Wrestling pod last week. That's a must listen to. If you guys haven't checked it out, go give it a watch. Go give it a listen. There's a lot of cool things that Zach talked about that he hasn't on other podcasts.
God damn.
Including
Great
a story of Rowdy Piper getting fired by Vince McMahon. So make sure you guys
God.
go listen to that story.
God damn. Danny cleaned the fuck out of his room for this interview. Holy shit.
What do you mean, bro?
He looks spotless back there, dude. Proud of you.
I am so
Looks
proud. I
spotless.
like I said, I'm so proud of Danny for last
Yeah.
week. But moving on, we do have a new full
that
match
Becca?
up on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel. This is a throwback from, I want to say, May of 2025. Becca and TJ Crawford defending their titles against
Yeah.
Adrenaline Express, which so far
Yeah.
we have, I think, 600 views on this tag match. So go give it a watch if you haven't checked the full match out already. We post a lot of Blitzkrieg matches that we sponsor. And speaking of Blitzkrieg, that's right, new show has been announced Saturday, May 2nd in Westfield, Mass at the East Mountain Country Club. And they're going to be bringing Attitude Era Tag Team, the Headbangers, and MLW wrestler Cruel will be there. So if you are in the Western Mass area, come out to Blitzkrieg Pro. It was never just a phase, or you can watch it with Danny live on IWTV.
Yeah, dude.
But Cruel is like one of my favorite people in MLW currently.
Oh,
Hell
he's
yeah.
great. Also, we do want to give a massive congratulations to one of our local independent wrestlers who came out of Creator Pro, Aaron Rourke, on winning
Yeah,
the
dude.
WWE Evolve Championship last Wednesday on Tubi.
This guy's definitely a fucking character, man.
He's a character, but the dude is fucking
Really good
talented as
worker.
shit in the ring, dude.
Great worker.
Talented as shit.
So huge congratulations to Aaron Rourke. We
Big ups.
love to show love to people that we see in the independents because
What up,
we are
Omar?
wrestling. We're huge supporters of indie wrestling. Also, we got to congratulate somebody who we
Mimi!
recently sponsored, Mimi, on
Let's
getting
go!
a TV ID contract.
Much deserved, dude. Much deserved. She's fucking phenomenal in the ring, dude.
She is phenomenal. What's going on, Omar? What's going on, Dan the man?
Hey, what's up, man?
Damn, what's
up,
going on, bro?
James? What's going on, everybody?
But yeah, we have to congratulate Mimi on getting her WWE ID contract. We love to
That's
see
phenomenal. I love seeing people win.
This. Absolutely. And big
Look at this
event New
fucking
York.
guy.
This past weekend, I was meeting so many We Are Wrestling Maniacs and best ones. Like, probably got stopped like every time. It's more and more people. What an event this was. We will be having a whole vlog up on the We Are Wrestling YouTube channel this Friday. What an experience, man. There's a little preview of what you can expect on the vlog. Plus, for the first time, I think you both will be proud of me. I was mic'd up. So
Oh,
you.
fuck yeah.
meet
So
and
we're
greet
going to get
experience
clear
is gonna
audio,
be
man.
a lot better. For the most
Yes.
part, there is a couple meet and greets that unfortunately, like because of my receiver being like touchscreen, it muted it. And I was pissed.
Damn.
But the important ones, we have
the
audio.
fuck?
I
For
made
those
sure.
of you wondering about content creation, okay, one of the biggest components of it is clear audio, man. You're gonna want to have clear fucking audio when it
The
comes
first
to
thing we did,
content
guys,
creation.
with our Google check was get these mics that we have.
Yep.
Fuck yeah.
But also, here's a couple of the previews. Meet and greets I
Lethal
had.
Weapon.
Got to meet the Lethal Weapon himself, Steve Blackman. Had to get the nunchuck signed, baby.
Hell yeah.
I love Blackman, dude. This like I was probably like the biggest fangirl in there for Steve.
Love it.
Right, he still looks fucking good, man.
He looks great.
Hey, let's
Also,
go.
Ducky Ducky Quack Quack, Booker T, Bob
Yeah,
Cobb,
dude.
world champion. And I also had to compliment him and tell him like he's one of the best commentators. Don't listen to the IWC.
Don't listen to the
And what'd he
IWC.
say?
They're a bunch of fucks.
Oh, he appreciated it a lot. He's like, man, I'm just trying to have fun. And I'm like, that's exactly like why I love you on commentary, dude.
Bro,
Yeah,
it was 2 weeks ago on NXT. Bro, he legit broke out in song and karaoke and started singing fucking Joe Hendry's fucking theme.
Oh, dude,
I
I don't know
love it.
what song was playing when Booker was signing all my shit, but he was sitting there just jamming. And I think I got it on video. It's hilarious.
That is
Can't
awesome.
wait to see it, dude.
There's a couple other guys I met. Sammy Guevara remembered me from Terrificon, so that was cool. Stayed at the same hotel that I stayed at and
Love
remembered
that.
me as well.
Imagine just walking down the hall to take a piss and being like, "This Sammy
Hey, what up, Sammy?"
Guevara."
But the reason I wanted to bring up Sammy Guevara real
What's up,
quick
Matt?
is because one thing that I hope every We Are Wrestling Maniac doesn't do, never harass a wrestler at a hotel or an airport. Because I saw Sammy Guevara at the hotel when I first arrived. I was getting all my stuff. I had the carriage. And next thing you know, Sammy Guevara, Ty, and their daughter Luna,
They're Dotto.
their daughter Luna were there. And I didn't want to harass Sammy. I didn't want to bother him. I said hi. I didn't ask for a picture. Didn't ask to get anything signed. That's the message that needs to be received.
And this is another message that needs to be received. So to
And he
add on
appreciated
to
it
that,
too on Saturday. He did tell
and
me
to
that.
add on to that, I was flying home from my Ohio and my LA trip, and lo and behold, I get to my gate. I take one look to my fucking right, and it's Michael Shannon, who's literally General Zod from Zack Snyder's Superman movie. I did ask for a photo. He rightfully declined. Was really nice about it. All you say is, okay, respect their shit and walk away. You still got to say hello. That is all you need to do.
Exactly.
All
And I
you
think
need
even
to do. It takes
I think
nothing to be a kind person.
And I also think even Brock Lesnar recently just did a podcast this past week, and he was talking about how he'll stop and like take pictures and meet people if he's by himself. If he's with his family or wife or family, nope, not happening.
2 things. Never while you're with your family, they're with their family, and never while they're at a dinner table. Never do that.
Exactly.
And don't go to these fucking people's houses, bro. Like fucking showing up at
No.
Rhea Ripley's house and shit like that. Like, don't be a
No.
fucking creep.
No, dude.
Come on.
It's okay to say hi. Just don't harass them for picture. Because like with Sammy, I was going there anyways to get a picture and autograph. So like, why am I going to bother him at the hotel when he's checking in after a long travel day with his wife, his daughter? So like, why was I going to bother him?
And don't make it a big deal, you know, because there's a good chance that you're the only one that notices them. I mean, if you make a big deal about it, then they're gonna get bum rushed. It's gonna just end up in the fucking chaos. So,
or bother them in a restaurant or store. Exactly, James. You got that right.
Be fucking normal, man. Come on.
Takes nothing.
Yeah, be normal like Danny was last week with Zach Gowen. I was so proud of you, by the way.
Zach Gowen is goated, bro. We definitely got to have him on the show at some point again.
But I also got to meet Rick the Bottle Martel, man. What a line this dude had. It was a long line. So it was cool to see all the old school fans were. It was so cool to see all the old school fans excited to meet Rick. And then there I am meeting a couple We Are Wrestling Maniacs, which I do have a really cool story to share real quick. And then we'll get into the show, obviously. So you see the picture of the 2 kids that are on my left. Well, at Big Event New York, their father, usually I see him at the other, I usually see him at like other wrestling conventions, but his kids wanted to go to Big Event. Then the only reason they wanted to go was to meet me. And I couldn't believe it, dude. I freaking almost teared up, man, when I heard that. The only reason these kids went to Big Event New York was to meet me because they love my toy hunts and they love my videos.
I fucking love that for you, man.
So shout out to them and shout out to everybody who stopped by and say what's up to me, man,
Thanks,
because really makes like the experience like 10 times better when I get to talk with you guys.
You probably don't have the picture queued up or whatever, but you know, this is going to be out the fly. But can we just sit here and appreciate the fact that Donnie had a bigger line than John Laurinaitis?
And he didn't have to use AI.
I didn't have to use AI, which Josh, I always appreciate seeing you, man. I'm sorry we couldn't get that vlog clip, man. When I was leaving, I realized
New York, we got to get together. That'd be cool.
Oh, for sure, man. We love Josh Toy Show. Love all the maniacs that we get to see. But all right, let's move forward now. There's Timeless Toni Storm. Got to meet her. She was cool. And we did announce last week on the We Are Wrestling Pod, in case you weren't here, we're going to be having a brand new championship, the Thunder title. And this is going to be a championship that myself, Rage, Danny, and Dan Eddie cannot compete for because we run the We Are Wrestling Pod. This is for the extras, the Phils, the Jordans, the Rickies, the Cams, the Rod Buddies, the Johns. So pretty much we have a tournament that we're going to be doing to crown this champion, and it's all going to start night 1 of WrestleMania. Phil versus Jordan, Jungle Boy Jordan, and Ricky Knows Best versus Casual Cam. And then the 2 winners will face off at SummerSlam, and then we crown our champion.
Danny, tell me this. I was talking to Donnie about this bracket last week. Tell me it wasn't a missed opportunity to put Phil and Ricky together and Cam and Jordan together, because that would have been an actual match I would have loved to see.
That would have been money. And I kind of want to know that too, man. Where's Rod Money on this?
Well, I can make the announcement right here. Rod Money has been must watch for We Are Wrestling, which is why
oh my God, he's so fucking good.
Winner of the Thunder Championship, Rod Money, is the #1 contender.
Yeah, okay.
I think
when are we
so.
gonna get when are we getting the belt preview with the belt reveal, the strap?
Whenever we get it in the mail.
Well, bitch, we don't
whenever
even
I design it.
You still haven't even designed the fucking thing?
Yeah, I was waiting for you guys, man. We need to have a meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, like I don't want to, because like right. I know the first design for the championship I did. I want to have you guys help me with it.
Okay, see,
I'm a good host with the most.
Since you put it in a really sweet kind of way, then you know what? Proceed. Proceed.
Proceed with caution.
And technically,
We're Naomi, bitch.
Also, technically, Dan the Man could compete for the belt too because he's been in the We Are Wrestling universe as well.
We have our own
With
universe, man. It's like it's like a Kevin Smith movie. We have we
got recurring roles and we got mainstays, cameos, reoccurring roles. You name it, dude. Series regular.
Absolutely, dude. But the new Thunder Championship is coming soon, and we'll have a new champion at SummerSlam, and then the winner will go defend it against Rod Buddy.
James, fuck yeah. Andre the Giant versus Bronson Reed would have a great match in the 80s. I kind of have to agree because it's two different styles, but two very different kind of big men.
This so James honestly, dude is going fucking in, man.
Dude, he's going to town on this chat shit. But
hell yeah,
fine.
We love you, James, man. We appreciate you.
Appreciate that, man. That keeps the
we appreciate all
going.
the love and support.
You saw the Warlord
in the live chat.
You saw the Warlord at Walmart. That's awesome.
Yes, Dan, you're very right. So you could compete for this title too.
Oh yeah, because you have a Jericho Cruise vlog. Like you carried that shit, man. You're allowed.
The fuck out of that vlog. Hell yeah.
That was commitment.
Don't worry, you'll get your chance at the title. All right. Well, with that being said, now I think it's time.
Tyrus, hold on. Tyrus brought up a good point. It's only fair for you guys to choose which Thunder participant you support, like managers.
This is like fucking LFG or fucking like the first season of fucking NXT, man.
We have our own developmental system.
Could you imagine though?
Who
like
wants
having
to come
certain
to the
roles?
We Are Wrestling Pod? You have to earn it by winning the Thunder title, bitch.
That would be kind of fucking cool for like an extra, like kind of like discussing the championships and like making the roster and shit. That'd be kind of cool.
That would be so cool.
Play with my GM.
In real life. IRL, baby.
Yeah, dude, road to WrestleMania. All right.
Well, speaking of
like Javon Evans says, we outside, bitch.
We outside. Well, let's get into the We Are Wrestling Podcast highlight of the week.
Oh, man.
Oh, there's the graphic right there. What is your highlight of the week this week in the wrestling world?
This week? Fuck, I can't. Oh, I want to say Rod Money so bad. He would appreciate that. Honestly, there's a couple, but if I would narrow one down, I'm gonna go. Honestly, Danny, you go first. Let me think about it.
It still has. It still has to do with Brock Lesnar and Obafemi, man. Like, we saw the first interaction last week. We saw, we saw it again this week.
But here's the thing I do want to say about that, where that's great, and I love that Oba's getting all this fucking love. To squash Brock like that twice in a row is kind of curse shit.
I think I know what's happening.
I think Oba's losing at me.
I think Oba's going to lose. They're going to do a rematch at SummerSlam, and I think Brock Lesnar's last match in WWE is going to be Obafemi. He's going to put Obafemi over.
I still think they're going with Gunther, dude.
I think they're still going with Gunther.
Gunther's not even going to be on WrestleMania this year.
Yeah, but
because they're saving him for after. They're saving him for after.
Well, here's the thing, too.
I feel like he should be at Mania, but still.
With SummerSlam, Brock Lesnar losing Oba doesn't really do anything for that blockbuster main event with him and Gunther. So, like, if Brock Lesnar loses to Oba, then it's like Brock looks weak going into that match with Gunther. And I think Oba, like, he's going to have a really strong outing in this match. Like, it's not like he's going to lose, like, Kofi Kingston in, like, 3
he's
seconds.
Not getting squashed. It's going to be a banger, dude.
It's going to be a close match. But Oba's only, like, the fans are just going to get behind him more and more, even if he loses. So, like, it's really not going to affect him that much.
I will say that Obafemi versus Brock Lesnar at Mania is my most anticipated match. Like, that's the match I'm looking forward to the most right now. So,
absolutely.
I will say, if I will be okay with Obafemi losing, taking the L at WrestleMania, if he gets his win back, which means they have a rematch somewhere down the line. That's the only way.
You're getting your hopes up.
If Brock Lesnar's going to beat Obafemi and he's not going to be able to get his win back, because when Brock Lesnar first came in, bro, look at everybody that put him over: Undertaker, Triple H, The Rock, like all these massive names around that time. I just feel like if Brock Lesnar is going to be leaving this year, the right thing to do would be putting over the newest, biggest star, which is Obafemi. Obafemi is going to be world champion by next year. I guarantee it.
He did say he's not losing his last Mania, but he never said anything about his last match. So, in a way, I am kind of tilting where Danny's going. I can understand where he's at there. where I think it would be kind of why I feel like honestly, if there's one person that does not have to retire Brock, I don't think Gunther needs it, to be honest, especially with Brock being who he is. If Brock were to beat him, it would ruin everything about Gunther. So I honestly, I'm more with Danny on this because I would rather protect that and let him put over Oba on the way out.
Oh, trust me. If it was my way, I would pick fucking Oba being his last opponent over Gunther any day of the week. I'm just looking at it realistically.
Lose at Mania, win at fucking SummerSlam.
Yes, that's how it should happen. But it's not going to happen, unfortunately.
If it does, honestly, like
I'll be happy. I won't
respectfully, I'm gonna lean with Danny here, but I understand where you're at. 100%.
I just feel like with what they're doing with Gunther currently, it's like if you just have him be the guy to retire people, like he's gonna end up running out of opponents very quickly. You know what I mean? Like you can only go so far with that. So
and then to
that's
do
why
it
I don't
like
think
all
it should
in
be,
a year, especially I don't think it should
be Gunther.
Ray.
I don't think it should be Gunther.
And he already has to stretch the whole thing out with Ray too. So
exactly, and now it's costing him WrestleMania, which we'll talk about later on in the weekly news and rumors. But getting into my highlight of the week, besides big event New York and House of Glory, I'll pick something that's like television wise, and I'm gonna have to give it to Becky Lynch and AJ Lee. I was impressed. This is what I meant the last couple months with the segments. That's the Becky I've been waiting for. Because I know what she's capable of doing. I also know what AJ Lee is capable of doing. And I thought that this was the best interaction that they've had yet.
Oh, absolutely.
Loved it. All right, well, with that being said, before we go, we're going to be doing something brand new here this week for the We Are Wrestling podcast. So with our TV recap, myself and Rage, we're going to be talking about it. We're going to be covering it. And then when we get to the We Are Wrestling weekly news and rumors, Rage is going to step aside, and Danny is going to be joining us back here on the show to cover all the news because it's a very AEW week. So, with that being said now, let's get into the We Are Wrestling TV recap. All right, guys, we are back with our We Are Wrestling weekly TV recap. A lot went down this past week, and let's talk about what happened last Friday on SmackDown when I was out in Long Island. Last Friday on SmackDown, R-Truth and Damian Priest defeated the MFTs to win the WWE Tag Team Championships. What's your thoughts on this?
One, that picture looks super AI because you rarely ever see Triple H smile with his teeth. So I love the fact that this is happening because they absolutely played Damian Priest the fuck out because they definitely did not tell him about that finish. They didn't. Because if you look, he looked genuinely shook when R-Truth hit the 3 count. He was just like, I never seen the dude so fucking happy in his whole life to just be surprised by something because they definitely told truth. They did not tell Damian. And I feel like Damian Priest has really kind of had a rocky main roster, stay so far, but it hasn't been horrible. He's just somebody that has had to repeatedly deal with what he's been dealt. And I'm not saying it's horrible, but they could have treated him better in some ways. But they have rewarded him greatly this time because you could see the genuine surprise on his face, but also the happiest,
That's the thing, like, with Damian Priest, it felt like on Monday Night Raw, he was this main event guy holding the World Heavyweight Championship. They were going in the right direction with him.
Yes.
He goes over to SmackDown. He has this long, lackluster feud with Aleister Black. And then next thing you know, he's kind of just lost in the shuffle. And I think it's okay for somebody to take a break from the world title once in a while because it gets old, it gets stagnant. And I think Damian Priest doing this odd tag team with R-Truth, not only does it make sense because they have that history with Judgment Day, but it works because it gives Damian some time to just relax a little bit. And then when the timing is right, he could turn on R-Truth. There you go. We go back to a heel Damian Priest. So honestly, I like that they won the tag titles. And something I didn't expect to happen, which anytime you do something unexpectedly, you're not going to hear a complaint out of me.
Dude, I love when people pull the trigger on something and there's no indication, like it just happens. That's what keeps people on their toes. It keeps things different. Because R-Truth and Damian Priest, they have history, but that's an odd ass tag team, but they're both fucking talented. And I'm really, really excited to see like with what they do with it. I would, however, like in the future before he retires, I would love a Danhausen R-Truth tag team. 100%.
Yes.
But right now I'm gonna ride this wave. I do like it.
Honestly, I do think that eventually we will get Danhausen and CM Punk. I think that they'll win tag titles at some point.
That is actually
Phil.
that would be sick. That's a good point to make, Danny. Damian works better when he can place off someone. He seems directionless when he's solo. I
Agree.
get that. I understand.
He was so good with Judgment Day.
Oh, phenomenal.
Once him and Rhea left, like that faction, I just lost every bit of.
I loved his fucking stint with the Terror Twins with him and Rhea. They fucking because they have good chemistry because they're really good friends in real life, but the dynamic just worked.
It does, and I do like this. Like, it was just so out of the blue, and sometimes the best tag teams are teams that are out of the blue. So I'm excited to see what they actually do here with R-Truth and Damian as tag champs.
Yeah.
But let's move on now to AEW Collision, which I know you already saw this clip.
I did.
So we can talk about it, and I'm not surprised you have seen this clip because he's got over 20 million views combined on AEW social media.
And all he had to do was one thing. And it's all he had to do was one thing, and it sold the character. At least for me.
Let's talk about it. Lio Rush's new creepy gimmick that he's doing here. There's some positive feedback while there's lots of negative feedback here. What was your thoughts on it from the 2-minute clip?
All right. So hear me out and just ride with me for a second, okay?
All right.
So one, I have acknowledged the negative shit with him. I have acknowledged the fact that he's retired countless times. I understand that, he has a habit of talking a big game. But I will say that this feels good because I know he's creative. Are there things I would tweak about it? Absolutely. One, a little bit on the appearance. Like Danny said here in the chat, paint his face. I agree. I absolutely agree. Two, let's change the gear up a little bit too. If you're gonna do this creepy fucking monstrous shaman thing that he's doing, let's make you look a little bit more the part. I would also change what this high-pitched thing he's doing, unless again he paints his face because he just looks a little weird rather than creepy. The facial expressions on fucking point. Now let's talk about the movement. The movement in the ring and his theatrics and him when he bounced off the rope and he'd be like nope and then just run to the other one, bounce off. And then that I love that he's doing a lot of his original moveset, but he's becoming very calculatively sloppy about it. And I love that. He's doing more things in fluidity rather than making it look stiffer and more performative. He's making it look super grounded.
I did really like the dog walk that he did and then went through the bottom rope as a suicide dive.
That's what I'm talking. It wasn't even a dog walk. That's a straight up monkey fucking run, dude. That was a straight monkey run.
Loved it.
The dude was literally running like a fucking ape, dude, and it was fucking insane. That was actually super sellable. Dude could just by doing that, dude could land 1 million movie roles for stunt work. That. Doing something like that in a wrestling ring and to be able to pull it off and also translate it into an actual dive is trickier than you fucking think. And that dude did that shit aimlessly.
I was impressed with this.
That one move sold the whole character for me. I was already simmering on it and I was very much teetering on the rope, no pun intended. But at the same time, once he hit that shit and then went out, did his little taunt thing in the camera and dude, yes, I think he finally found it if we can just tweak it down a little bit more.
Agree, because he's not just another little guy that does crazy moves.
No,
it's different, and that's what I like about this.
Yes, he's pulling out animal characteristics that we are all capable of if you can just touch a certain place emotionally, and he fucking nailed that shit. So if he can kind of again just craft it a little more, he got it.
It's the look. I like the contacts that he's wearing.
But
I do want face paint. I do want there to be a different look. And if I'm AEW tonight on Dynamite, I'm capitalizing on this and I'm having a vignette. Like,
I'll be honest with you.
Let's not beat around the bush here. We need to introduce this alter ego of Lio Rush. I don't like that it was just randomly just thrown without a vignette or without an introduction.
Hear me out. This is a WWE character. Like, this is something I can see on WWE television and actually benefiting really fucking well. For a lone supernatural character, like, this would have translated great. Like, had he done this in WWE, he could probably still be there. Like, this is, if AEW does not capitalize on this, and, like, again,
they probably won't.
I'm not saying I'm a fucking stan or anything. If they do not capitalize on this, they're dumb. Because, like, right now, he literally has a lightning in a bottle with this gimmick.
20 million views on a Collision clip. Collision, not AEW Revolution, not AEW Dynamite. Collision.
Yes. 20
during
million
March
views.
Madness.
Yes.
20 million views. That's something that AEW, they need to capitalize on. And if they don't, I'm sorry, man, it's going to be AEW's loss and TNA or WWE's gain.
And this is the craziest part about the whole fucking thing. 20 million views is some CM Punk drawing shit. But let's put out the craziest part about all of it. Lio fucking Rush did that.
Lio Rush did.
Capitalize when something great happens. It's a moment. And that moment can change your fucking life. And they found Lio Rush's. You need to do something with it.
Hey, he was doing this on the independents and it was successful. So I'm kind of glad that, like, he's trying this right now on national television. I give him a lot of props because now he's just not another high flyer.
No,
he has some
a whole
character
entity
to
now.
And it
now
like we needed this. So I'm really happy for Lio. I don't care about any of the backlash. I liked it.
Same.
There's some things I would tweak. The face paint is probably the number one thing because he did have that originally in the independents and he looked really fucking sick.
That's what I'm saying.
With the look. So I really do hope that this works out for Lio Rush because he's always been a very talented guy. Just needed to do something, and I feel like he found
Josh.
it.
No, Josh. Let him stay on his own. Let him stay on his own
yeah,
right now.
No. We don't need him in the Don
We do
Callis
not need him
family.
in any kind of fucking team or any kind of stable right now. Let him
You
run
could
on
give
his
him
own.
a manager to maybe cut his promos and talk, but it needs to be a creepy guy.
Maybe not
Don
a
Callis.
manager. Maybe not a manager, but maybe even a valet.
Yeah,
maybe
like even like a valet. Like some emo chick would be perfect.
Bring Abaddon back for that one.
That would be pretty nice, but then again, she was in catering for AEW for a few years. I don't think she's coming back for anything.
But at the same time, dude,
but I agree,
like,
she'd be perfect. She would
as
be
a
perfect
valet,
with this Lio.
if she was like a
Yes.
valet on like a Molina level, like not like in the terms of like sluttiness or anything, but like in like the terms of like only doing shit when necessary, but like obviously accompanying him to the ring, staying around the ring for shit, and then like when the ref's
Abaddon
not
would be
looking, to have her
perfect.
do shit to like whoever he's facing, like make her that kind of valet where she only interferes when she needs but doesn't need to wrestle.
Man, I think Abaddon is perfect. I
Facts.
would not mind seeing that, but I think a valet would be perfect for this gimmick that Lio Rush is doing.
Same.
But hopefully it continues to work out. Wish him nothing but the absolute best. Love that he's going outside the box with this. But let's move on now back to WWE programming. This past Monday on Raw, it was made official. AJ Lee will be defending her Intercontinental Championship against Becky Lynch at WrestleMania 42. What's your thoughts on this?
Okay, so I've seen the segment, and I will agree with you on everything that you said about Becky Lynch, and this is like what you've been waiting to see, and it takes more for me. It takes more than one good night to sell something to me and to like make me really invested. So obviously, we still have a little bit more time before Mania, so I'm really gonna kind of hone in on that and see if AJ actually shows up for work, because again, AJ is very rusty. Let's not get it twisted. It's good to see her back.
Oh, yeah,
But
being
she's
away
still
10
getting it
years,
back.
man.
Yeah, she's still getting it back
Definitely.
in the ring, and she's still getting it back on the mic. So, again, one good night does not do it all for me, but we are
me
in a very
either.
good, but we are in a very good direction, and we are going really well on pacing. So, if we can keep that up leading up to Mania, I might be more excited than I am for this match. I love the fact that we're getting Becky Lynch and fucking AJ Lee in 2026. I love that. but I'm also at a point now in like my wrestling fandom where I need more than that, you know.
Oh, for
So,
sure.
and
They
we are
need to
definitely
do
in a good.
more.
We're in a good space right now. Like this energy, let's keep it here and let's bring it up a little bit. Becky looked great. She sounded great. You know, like I said.
Yeah, like it
Like
wasn't
you said,
coming off
rather.
cringe. That's what I liked
Yeah,
about it.
because again, this is like I don't know what it is, but I've noticed a lot of wrestlers, again, aka Roman Reigns too. We are reverting. We're going back to some old school feels and old school kind of gimmicks. Because we got Thunderdome Roman Reigns back. We got Thunderdome Roman Reigns back. We're getting fucking the man back slowly. It's a very big simmer period, but we're getting there. Yeah, we even got the architect back. So like again, like I never thought we were gonna see fucking architect Seth Rollins in fucking 2026, but here we are. So I don't know. We're heading in a good direction. I'll say that.
Oh, we are in the right direction here, and like this segment Monday, I think was easily their best interaction that they've had,
I'm
and
with
it
you,
only
Danny.
took 6 months. So I'm really happy that we're going in the right direction. Did I say like, oh, that segment sold me completely on WrestleMania? No. They still got to do a lot more for me to be impressed, but they're going in the right direction. And this feud, I always wanted to get behind it, but they didn't give me a reason to. Now they're starting to, because now I'm starting to see a little bit of that old Becky. I'm starting to see a little bit of that old AJ. The match at Elimination Chamber was solid too. I will give both
It was a good
women
match.
credit.
It was a good match.
I do think WrestleMania, though, we need a stipulation. They have been feuding. They've been at each other's necks for over 6 months. We need some type of stipulation with these two. Becky's daughter is running around the house listening to AJ Lee's music. Let's light it up. We need a stipulation involved here. Something.
Yeah.
Can't give
I
us just a
gotcha.
regular singles match at WrestleMania. That's
probably
not
gonna.
enough. But hopefully they do like pick it up with good segments that lead up to WrestleMania, because that's one thing I don't like about the regular WWE programming right now is everything happens like in the arena and sometimes gorilla, sometimes backstage. I want to see more like television segments that we got in the Ruthless Aggression era, that we got in the Attitude era. I want more stuff outside of the arena to be done, because I think that can sell me on some of these feuds, some of these matches. And I think Becky and AJ, give me something, like have one of them go to the other person's house and destroy something. Give me something.
Some old school shit. I got
Yes, some old school shit, because that's what makes you invested, is when there's that real animosity. But speaking of real animosity and heat, this past Monday on Raw, Roman Reigns finally got his hands on CM Punk. What was your thoughts on this segment? Did they deliver?
So far so good. Like I said, we got Thunderdome Roman Reigns back. So yeah, no, it's good to see not only Roman come back to work, but the level that he's going at right now, and like the prestige that we're building towards this world heavyweight title match. Like now we're starting to feel like we're in the era where this title feels important. If Roman does end up walking out with that belt, it's gonna look hella good on him. Like that, it's gonna look real good on him. And if he's gonna wear it, that at that point you have literally the trifecta of the greatest champions we've had in the last 20 fucking years that have held the title wear it. We have fucking Roman, Seth, and Punk have all worn it.
I will
Gunther's
say,
worn it.
dude, the Usos getting involved here, I love that. It does
Yeah, they're
scare
gonna
me a
turn on
little
Roman.
bit, man, because I don't know, dude. I have a feeling that the bloodline could be coming back. Usos
I think
and
so
Roman.
too. And I think from what
You're starting to see the attitude change with Jay. It seems like Jay's telling Roman what to do.
Yeah, because they're trying to cement Jay as the next tribal chief when Roman leaves. That's why. Jay's gonna be fucking leading the whole damn thing. And I also think that's why Paul Heyman is also pushing heavily for WWE to sign Zilla Fatu like expeditiously.
Yep.
Like they want him to sign him immediately. And if
Needs to
they
happen.
do, if the moment they sign him, he will be on that first Raw. You already know he will be. So it just doing it with the bloodline would make it so much easier, because if they don't have anything creative planned with him, that's still another body and that's still another face. And when they do have plans for him, boom, big impact. They could build him up like they did with Solo.
They could, and I think Zilla Fatu would be such a great signing for WWE. no doubt. Like, he's been killing it outside in the indies.
Damn, Danny.
I think we got to have him say this on the pod.
Oh,
Danny, we're bringing you back in, buddy.
we're bringing you back in for this last comment. All right.
All right.
So
Damn, that's a big one. That's a big one. I'm willing to. Yeah, that's a big one. I agree.
So during the LA Knight and Usos segment backstage on Monday, on the production truck back there was The Rock. Last time we saw a shot like that was when The Rock was beating up Cody Rhodes before WrestleMania 40. We saw John Cena and Steve Austin on the trucks behind there. John Cena showed up at WrestleMania. Austin unfortunately did not. But I predict, because Jey Uso, everybody's calling him Mini Roman this, Mini Roman that. He called the shots on Monday. He's the one. Roman was going to leave the ring. Jey Uso was like, smash him all, and he called him Joe. He didn't even say Roman. He said Joe, smash him. That made Roman Reigns want to beat the hell out of CM Punk. So what I feel like is Roman Reigns is not going to win the title at WrestleMania. He's not. We don't need a part-time champion. He's going to be going away for a little bit after WrestleMania. We don't need that.
Yeah.
I feel like, and they do want to set up The Rock versus Roman for WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia. I feel like the Usos are going to get involved in the match. The Rock is going to show up at some point. Jay is going to end up super kicking Roman, siding with The Rock. CM Punk is going to retain the title, and that's going to set up The Rock versus Roman for WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia.
And I do think Jimmy's going to stay in the middle because he's going to be all confused and shocked.
He seems like the level-headed brother.
Exactly.
So, this is off topic, but since I got you both here, did you guys see the update?
What update?
It may have been a troll on this person's behalf, but it happened on camera. There was so you realize how Ted DiBiase got fucking cleared of his charges?
Yeah, I saw the phone call.
The phone call.
Yeah,
the phone call. Yeah, so that
April
could be a
19th,
troll.
Vegas. Book it.
So that could be a troll, or what if it isn't?
I hope we'll talk. We have that for weekly news and rumors.
Yeah. All right.
But I will say my thoughts on the whole Roman Reigns CM Punk segment. I still think the first 3 segments that we got were the best by far. I love seeing the side of Roman. There was little things I liked, but there was the CM Punk promo. It wasn't it for me for once. Like, I just wasn't behind it. Last week's segment, really didn't care for that either. That's why with CM Punk and Roman, just like I was saying about Becky and AJ, we need to do something more.
Exactly, Angelo. Like with The Rock versus Cena, that was announced a year ahead of time, and like The Rock's not going to be on TV all the time. You know what I mean? So like, if you have a year in advance to really build towards that match, it's not going to matter if he's on TV a lot. They're still going to be able to build towards it.
Exactly. And that's the thing. I just feel like when it's all said and done, like, I just think that, like, we need to get more than just the same 5 type of segments that we get on WWE programming, because it's really making me tune out of the product rather than tuning in. And Punk and Roman, there's only so much things that they could say. Like, literally last week, what triggered Punk was "you're old." What the fuck? Are you kidding me?
But
who gives a fuck?
But Punk kind of explained that in his promo on Monday. So we did start to get like
did I care? I don't care that he doesn't use just for men like Roman Reigns has to use. I don't care. It all started off with Roman Reigns saying, "I hate you." Perfect. Next week, CM Punk talks about Roman's dad, how he's going to bury him right next to him. Love that. The week after that, the Usos coming out, confronting CM Punk about that because that's their family. Awesome. And then we go from all that to "you're old."
I will say,
give me a fucking break.
I will say I was not a fan of that, but they've had more good segments than bad. So I kind of
right now they're 3 for 5.
I kind of sweep that under the rug, like whatever,
Okay.
Like.
Yeah, 3. They're 3 out of 5, but hopefully we do some new stuff. That's what I want to see. But that is it for the We Are Wrestling TV recap. Rage, is there anything you want to say before you head out?
Nope. Other than that, guys, it's been a pleasure. It was a fun one. I'll be watching for the rest of the show. And you guys have a great rest of your night. We are Wrestling Maniacs. See you guys next week.
Next
we'll figure
week?
it out.
We'll figure it out. But before you go, Rich,
what's up?
It's time for Danny and myself to get into the We Are Wrestling weekly news and rumors. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk about the latest headliners, the rumors, the contracts, the controversy, who's pissed off this week, good booking, bad booking. It's time for the We Are Wrestling weekly news and rumors.
You fucking mark!
It's time for the We Are Wrestling weekly news and rumors. There's a lot of AEW stuff this week, which is why Rage has stepped away because he only watches the WWE product. Danny and myself, we're really more in tune with what's happening with AEW. And Rage agreed. He didn't want to come off inauthentic. I think that's the word.
Inauthentic, man.
Yeah, that's the word right there.
Yeah, that's the word.
That's the word. That's the word of the day. But we have lots of news that we are going to be covering in our We Are Wrestling weekly news and rumors. And we're going to start things off with Gunther's WrestleMania plans have been revealed. Well, the original plans. According to Body Slam Net, Gunther's feud with Dragon Lee was supposed to set up a program with Rey Mysterio leading to a match at WrestleMania. With Mysterio suffering a rib injury before the Royal Rumble, Gunther's WrestleMania direction changed, and it is currently unknown if he will compete in Las Vegas unless Mysterio is medically cleared. It's been 3 weeks without Gunther on TV. What do you think WWE should do with him this upcoming WrestleMania? Because clearly there's really no direction right now with him now that he's been off of TV for 3 weeks.
I feel like they could sort of tie in. Now, I sort of talked about this in our group chat or whatever, and you guys sort of dismissed it, that shouldn't happen. But I feel like Gunther, I feel like he should show up on SmackDown and cut a promo and essentially be like, there's nobody over on Raw that's any kind of competition or whatever, I wanted to come over here to see, what's going on. And I feel like Ilya Dragunov should interrupt him. Because Ilya Dragunov, and it sort of ties in with what happened last week as well. He's been having this turmoil within him, that he's not good enough. You know what I mean? And he's had some of his toughest battles in his professional career against Gunther. What a better, I can't think of a better person to have a war with, than Gunther or whatever, to really open up his eyes and be like, I am good enough. I am capable of doing a lot more than I'm doing currently. And I almost assumed that they were going to save Ilya versus Carmelo Hayes for WrestleMania, maybe because they've been sort of building it up week by week by week.
They did it last Friday.
Carmelo going to Ilya, are you ready to, are you gonna fight me tonight? And him being no, I am not ready. So I assumed they were going to save it to WrestleMania, but they didn't. And I feel like they did it for a very calculated reason. I feel like we need to get Gunther on the card. We need to get Ilya Dragunov in the card. I originally thought we were going to get Trick Williams versus Carmelo Hayes for the U.S. title, but it seems like we're going to be getting Trick and Sami Zayn. I feel like we're going to be getting Gunther doing an open challenge, and I feel like Dragunov is going to accept it. And I feel like Dragunov and Gunther, give those guys 20 minutes, let them go out and have a fucking banger, and that'll probably be whatever match that whatever night that's on. It's going to be automatically match of the night, man. If you guys have not seen an Ilya Dragunov versus Gunther match, do yourself a favor and go fucking watch, because it'll
go to the NXT YouTube channel and watch it.
It'll change your fucking life. These guys fucking brutalize each other, and it's going to be phenomenal.
Yeah, I will say this, man. Gunther, we need to do something here, because if you don't have him do anything at WrestleMania and you continue to have him absent off of television, it only makes the John Cena thing, the AJ Styles thing, absolutely worthless.
This guy's good enough to retire 2 legends, but he's not good enough to be on the WrestleMania card.
Be on the WrestleMania card, exactly.
So,
so for me, here's what I pitch, because I do agree here with what Angelo is saying, that they better find something for the guy who retired Cena and AJ, but I don't think it'll be Elio because the match with Mello for no Mania match, which I kind of see what he is saying. I don't think right now we're gonna get Elio and Gunther. I do think that would be a really good match, and they still have enough time to build it. Of course, Elio, you're right. He's having those thoughts. Gunther right now is conquering all these legends, but the person who took that UK championship from him was Ilya Dragunov. So, like, pretty much, like, that's a dragon he needs to slay. So, honestly, the best place to do it would be WrestleMania. So, logically, I wouldn't be upset at that decision. But if you are going in the whole career killer gimmick, I do think Gunther should be coming out every week, cutting a promo, trying to issue a open challenge for somebody at WrestleMania, try to kill another legend. And I think at WrestleMania, have Gunther wrestle a legend. WWE could book somebody for one night. And I think we've heard Wade Barrett say he still wants to get in the ring and have one more match. Rob Van Dam has expressed interest in coming back to WWE. Why not have him have one final match in WWE? And Gunther could put Gunther over. So, like, there's plenty of options here. I do think that Gunther should face off against a legend at Mania or do something in that capacity, because we know SummerSlam, the main plan is going to be him and Brock Lesnar.
But the thing is, like, yes, he has sort of like this, this career killer, this legend killer fucking gimmick or whatever moniker that's going on right now. But I feel like if you only book Gunther in matches that's going to end up retiring somebody, sooner or later, like I said earlier in the podcast, you're going to end up running out of people very fast. And what? He's only going to have 2-3 matches a year. Like, I think you need to steer away from this for a little bit. You can always revisit it and you can, still keep that gimmick or whatever for when somebody doesn't want to hang it up. But it doesn't need to be like, oh, every match he's going to retire somebody, because it's going to get old, it's going to get predictable, and then people are just going to get tired.
But you see, Danny, I'm looking at long-term booking here. Just hear me out. Gunther is going to continue to retire people until Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. After that, he's going after CM Punk or whoever the WWE champion is. If it is Cody, he goes after Rhodes. And Gunther will win the championship. He will hold it until WrestleMania 43. He's not going to lose a match, like you said originally. Obafemi's going to win the Royal Rumble, go to WrestleMania, beat Gunther for the belt. That's going to be the plan. Watch. So for now, Gunther is going to kill legends until SummerSlam. He's going to beat the Beast, and that's when CM Punk, because of course Punk last year at SummerSlam beat Gunther. Gunther hasn't done that yet. So Gunther will probably face Punk, beat him for the title, and he'll have a dominant title run like he's done before. Going up to WrestleMania, Obafemi will be the one to defeat him and have that WrestleMania moment.
Angelo saying that the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal win on SmackDown it is. So you're going to have the guy that retired Goldberg, John Cena, and AJ Styles not even on the WrestleMania card, and he's going to be on the SmackDown before WrestleMania in a fucking Battle Royal.
I don't want that. No, please don't do that. That is just awful. I think my idea is better.
I feel like the most sense would be to have an open challenge with Ilya Dragunov. That's what I honestly feel.
But I think an open challenge, like, just go against somebody that like wants one more match. That way,
yeah, but you gotta sprinkle in some matches or whatever. That's not going to require a retirement right after. That's what I'm saying.
I do agree. I do agree with that. You are right. At least with the next upcoming PLEs after.
I mean, Randy Orton was the original legend killer, but not every single fucking match he was fucking retiring somebody.
That is true, but he was having feuds with legends.
Yeah, he was, and you can do the same thing with Gunther, but not if you do every single match that Gunther has from now for the foreseeable future as like him retiring somebody. I mean, 3 or 4 matches in, you're gonna be like, we've seen it before. Who gives a shit? Like, I don't fucking care. Like,
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but I just think with the direction, like, they have to continue going in this route until we get to SummerSlam. Because I do think it's going to be Clash in Paris where Rey Mysterio fights Gunther when he comes back. And he'll probably retire Rey in Italy.
You know who I see Wade Barrett having a match with? Not anytime soon, but I see him because they're close friends. Over the last year, whenever Drew McIntyre has been fucking like being screwed over and going look too crazy, like Wade Barrett's been there to step in or whatever, sort of get in the way and calm things down.
Ew.
No.
Angelo, knowing WWE, they'll probably add him with the Vision, make it a 3-on-3. The Usos in LA versus the Vision and Gunther.
No.
Did
you hear what Did you hear what happened to LA Knight? He might not be at WrestleMania.
What happened now?
There's a video that surfaced from Raw on Monday. And he was like running through the crowd and jumping over the barricade, and he fucking overshot and he fucking like took a shitter and landed on his elbow. And people that were watching Raw noticed he had a big ass fucking mass on his elbow.
Oh, like John Cena did back in 2013.
So he might not be he might not have a match at Mania. He hasn't had a match since Elimination Chamber.
Yikes, that's bad. Ooh, Gunther can always be at Madison. He needs to be.
He can.
If we need to do something, he needs to be. But let's move on now to our next We Are Wrestling Weekly News and Rumors. Here's a quick one. According to Body Slam Net, sources indicate that Maria Malenko, daughter of Dean Malenko, has signed with WWE. She took part in a tryout for WWE last month in Orlando. And We Are Wrestling, if you guys don't follow us over on Facebook, Instagram, and X, we have posted her first match that she had at Pro Wrestling Noah. We posted the news there. And we got a lot of reactions to it. And it seems like she's really going into her father's footsteps, becoming a professional wrestler. And it seems like she impressed WWE to where she got a contract. So just wanted to come on here and say congratulations to Maria.
Doesn't Malenko, isn't he a producer for AEW?
He is.
It's kind of strange that she didn't go to AEW and at least work like in the same company as her dad, but
Yeah, but her dad's probably like the smart decision. Probably
go to WWE. This place sucks. I'm leaving once my contract expires.
Yeah, but I think for her it makes the most sense because she doesn't have a lot of experience right now in the ring. AEW doesn't really have a developmental program. So it's like the PC would be perfect for her.
That still trips me the fuck out. That Tony Khan, like the dude is a multi-billionaire and he has yet to build some kind of facility or whatever to train his athletes.
Well, to be fair, the first couple of years, Danny, they had the Nightmare Factory, but then Cody Rhodes took the Nightmare Factory and the Nightmare brand and went over to WWE.
That's because he owns it.
Yeah, exactly. But David Finlay went to AEW and Finlay's in WWE. That's true.
Dave Finlay also gets no reaction, and people in the audience in AEW don't fucking give a shit about what he's doing because Tony Khan has failed his fucking debut and failed everything about him. There's nothing interesting about him.
Yeah, I think even Ricky says there's nothing interesting about him in New Japan either.
I like David. He has a good look. He's phenomenal in the ring. I liked what he was doing at Revolution, but bro, he should have. You're supposed to book these guys as big deals. Like Tony Khan,
we talked about it. He should have debuted at Revolution.
Fucking vignettes, maybe like a fucking a shillelagh and like the dark or whatever. You have this guy doing some fucking some crazy shit with a shillelagh. Really hype it up and build it up. You know what I mean? Tony Khan assumes everybody that watches AEW watches New Japan.
But I do think Malenko's daughter going to WWE, great decision, and I can't wait to see what she does. Because I feel like if she is learning from, if she has her father's genetics, she's going to be very successful in this business wherever she goes. So huge congratulations to her.
Dean Malenko, he has 1,000
holds.
Yep. 1,000 holds.
Which she can't unfortunately do that gimmick because I think Serena Deeb is doing that right now. But we'll have to wait and see what happens. But let's move on now.
The person that's never on TV.
To some WWE Hall of Fame news. NBA Hall of Famer / former NWO member Dennis Rodman will be getting inducted into this year's WWE Hall of Fame. What's your thoughts on Rodman being the celebrity inductee?
I think it's rightfully deserved. You know, he did a little stint on AEW not that long ago. I think last year. He was also a member of NWO when I feel like NWO was sort of like at that peak a little bit. I mean, he was also, I don't know what position he played. Like, I'm not like that,
I can tell you
into
right
basketball. But like, bro,
powerful.
like Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, Dennis Rodman, like that was NBA back in like the 90s. You know what I mean? Like
That's
it
right.
didn't get any better than that. So like Dennis Rodman, man, like coming from somebody that's not a basketball fan, like even I know him and I appreciate like everything that he's done.
Dennis Rodman, this is probably one of the best celebrity inductees into the Hall of Fame that we've had in a long freaking time. So far, everybody that's getting inducted this year, for me, is a 10 out of 10. Like, I wouldn't change a damn thing. I love this year's class, and it might be one of my favorite ones in history.
Should we add another name to this topic?
Quick? I have him for next topic, but I got to share some thoughts here with Rodman because not only am I a huge pro wrestling fan, I'm a huge basketball guy. Dennis Rodman, especially in the 90s with Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, the dude was skipping practices, competing for a championship to be at Nitro.
Yep.
Like, that is real dedication right there. But Dennis Rodman, the thing I'm the most excited about is the merchandise, because whenever somebody is getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, that means they probably have signed a nostalgia/legends deal. And for the longest time, I have been wanting a Dennis Rodman WWE action figure for my NWO shelf for the longest freaking time. And I think it's going to happen because on WWE Shop, we got some Dennis Rodman shirts right now up on there. So that's a great sign. A lot of people in my wrestling figure community are really excited about this. And Rodman was one of my favorite celebrity crossovers of all time. The match that him, Hollywood Hogan, versus the mailman, Karl Malone, who is his rival in that NBA Finals, because they both are same position. We're going for the championship. Him and DDP teamed up, and that was like one of the coolest celebrity crossover matches of all time. So I love that Dennis Rodman is getting inducted here, because there's a lot of celebrities that I'm sure you'll agree with that don't deserve it. They had one or two like appearances and that's it. Rodman actually was a part of the business for a little while, especially during like the hottest era of professional wrestling.
Now the question is, who should induct him? I'm gonna throw it out there. I'm gonna go first.
Right now, wait, real quick. I will say, if Hogan was alive, it would be Hulkster.
I feel like it should be Kevin Nash.
Nah, man. I think I know who it's gonna be.
Who?
It's gonna be Eric Bischoff. Eric Bischoff's the one that gave Dennis Rodman the opportunity in WCW. He was a part of the NWO with Rodman, who was also super close with Hogan besides Rodman. Bischoff. So I think that it's probably going to be Eric Bischoff.
Could it the person that inducts him, does that person have to be affiliated with WWE? Because I was gonna think, like, what if it was like somebody like fucking Michael Jordan? That'd be
Michael Jordan is not leaving the golf course.
That'd be wild.
That would be wild. I do agree. But I think it will be somebody that's like a part of WWE and WCW, of course. That's why I do think it will be Eric Bischoff, because he probably has stories to share about Rodman, and I think it makes the most sense. But I'm really, really happy about this inductee into the Hall of Fame, especially for the wrestling figures, because right now I have this like old, like it's like a 1996 like Toy Biz Rodman in my NWO shelf with like these like realistic, fully articulated figures, and it just looks weird. Like I need to have like an actual WWE figure in that shelf.
Yeah, whenever somebody signs a Legends deal with WWE, that just means more content for you.
That's what I'm saying. Bones me up. That's what Matt Cardona would say on the Major Wrestling Figure Pod. But let's talk about the next inductee into the Hall of Fame, a part of the Legacy Award, Sid Vicious, Psycho Sid. is the next inductee into the WWE Hall of Fame class in 2026. What's your thoughts on this?
Definitely well deserved. You know, like obviously, like I wasn't watching pro wrestling around like Psycho Sid's heyday or whatever. Obviously, I remember I'm pretty sure if you're a wrestling fan, you've seen the video clip of him fucking jumping off the middle rope or whatever and fucking shattering his fucking leg. But like. I respect everything that he's done. He came back and had like a little run and did something in like 2012, I think. But like I like seeing. I'm just the one thing I'm upset about is these people going in after they pass away because they don't really get to sit and appreciate it and like really sit back on all their hard work and everything that they've accomplished and really being like, I fucking did this.
I wish that Sid was alive for this because he should have been inducted into the Hall of Fame a really, really long time ago. And it was something that could have happened because he has had multiple legend deals throughout the years. And I only know that because I'm a wrestling figure collector, so I try to keep track of all that. So they've had so many opportunities to do this. And I hate that it is happening like after he sadly passed away. And sometimes like that's like the sad thing about the business, like even in sports in general, when like an athlete or like a larger than life character passes away, you really don't appreciate them in the moment until after they're gone. And I feel like that's exactly like what happened, unfortunately, with Psycho Sid, because he was very successful in both WWE and WCW. Yeah. He's had a very successful run. He should have been in the Hall of Fame a long time ago. I know his son is very happy that his dad's finally getting inducted. I'm really happy because I've always been such a huge Psycho Sid fan, going all the way back to the old school days. I even love that run-in that he had in 2012 facing Heath Slater when Slater was doing these open challenges with all the legends every week.
Yeah, that was when Heath Slater was like on this fucking like, oh, there's no legend that's better than me.
But yes, dude, I think Psycho Sid 100% deserves it. I love every single person in this class. It's a 10 out of 10. Like, there's no 9s, there's no 8s. There's usually 1 or 2 people that, like, I don't know, but they deserve it, but I'm not as excited. But all these people that are being inducted right now, I know who they are.
And even Stephanie McMahon, because, like, even though she's, like, a McMahon or whatever, and it's, like, sort of like, it's her family business after all. But, like, she did a lot in the Attitude Era. She had some of the most memorable moments. She had that moment with she was, on the side of Chris Jericho for their match at WrestleMania 18 with Triple H. She was very instrumental in like the women's evolution and the evolution pay-per-view happening for the first time.
Oh, dude, she was a key role in changing the way women's wrestling is. Going from bikini contests, bra and panty matches to having main event matches on PLEs and pay-per-views, getting Royal Rumbles, Elimination Chambers, WrestleMania main events. Like, Stephanie McMahon deserves it. Shane McMahon definitely deserves it.
Yeah, but I wouldn't mind Shane being in. Last I heard that him, Stephanie, and Triple H don't like each other, so I don't know if that has anything.
I have heard that too.
If WWE has it their way, Stephanie McMahon's gonna headline, but I feel like if it was up to Stephanie and she had control over it, I feel like she would want AJ Styles. She just seems like a very selfless person like that.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I'm really happy with everybody that's being inducted this year. They all deserve it. I'm really happy that Rodman and Sid are finally getting their flowers. This is definitely long overdue.
Umaga will be in at some point.
This is a Hall of Fame induction that I'm telling you this right now. I will be watching the entire thing, especially Dennis Rodman, because he's so unpredictable. You don't know what the fuck is going to come out of his mouth. And I am all ears for that.
Umaga will be in at some. The thing about the Hall of Fame is there's only so many spots a year. You know what I mean? You got to pick and choose. Like there's so many people that fucking deserve to be in the Hall of Fame. You know what I mean? That haven't been inducted yet. He does, but like think of everybody else that has not been inducted yet. There's just so many fucking people.
Hey, there's so many talented, larger-than-life characters.
I would hate to be the person that has to pick and choose every year who goes in the Hall of Fame because I wouldn't be able to make that choice.
Well, here's the thing. You're not going to make everybody happy. That's just the truth.
Yep.
All right, well, let's move on now to some AEW news here. because
Oh,
we got
goody.
a lot to talk about here. Well, according to Fightful, one of AEW's top wrestlers, Hangman Adam Page, is set to take some time off from AEW, sources indicate. What's your thoughts on Hangman Adam Page taking a break right now from AEW?
I mean, I don't mind it. He seems like he's been very consistent since AW started. He hasn't really like taken too much time off outside of like an injury here and there. And that was only like a couple of months at best. So he's never like taken like a long hiatus. But he does have a wife, he has a kid. So I mean, if he wants to take, a while off, whatever, and have some of that family time, whatever, and rest of his body, I'm definitely all for that. I feel like everybody should be able to take some time off and, just to fucking like center themselves or whatever. Cause like even us knowing like doing the podcast, like even last year after WrestleMania, like we took a little bit of a break, like, and all we do is fucking sit here and talk about the shit. We're not getting slammed and fucking getting fucking chairs thrown at our heads and stuff like that. So,
And to be fair,
the grind is definitely real. So like, I'm not upset about it. So,
and to be fair too, a lot of people don't know the work that goes into behind the scenes. Like a lot of people see like all the brutal bumps and spots that these professional wrestlers take, but they also don't realize, even like in sports with like football and basketball, a lot of people will debate and say, oh, these athletes don't deserve to get millions of dollars. And a lot of people just look at the product, but there's a lot that goes into it, like preparation. Like you have to make sure like your diet's there. You have to make sure that you're staying in physical shape. A big thing that has really helped in professional wrestling too, recovery, physical therapy. A lot of these wrestlers really take good care of their body by doing like chiropractors and going into the chambers, doing the ice baths. Like it saved the Hardy's career, the ice baths, and it's really helped with Jeff Hardy like staying away from the drugs. So like that's the thing too. A lot of people don't realize the amount of preparation that goes into being a professional wrestler, as well as us as wrestling content creators. They don't realize a lot of the work that we have to put in behind the scenes. You have to tag stuff. You have to promote your shit on social media. You have to make shorts, clips. And this is something that I've always done throughout my YouTube career. But this past year, one of my goals in 2026, as much as I hate social media, I've been really putting in just the same amount of work that I've been putting into YouTube is going right now into my social media, where I'm posting double, probably triple the amount of content that I was last year. And it's really helping with subscribers. It's really helping with views. But you see, a lot of people don't know how much work goes into it, because at the end of the day, it's all happening behind the scenes and they only see what's in front of them. Like this pod.
Exactly. Like, a typical night for me is I usually go on stream around 7:30, live react to the show, watch the show, whatever. I get off stream around 10:30-ish, and then I usually don't go to sleep until maybe 2 o'clock in the morning. And that's on an easy night. You know what I mean? Because after the stream, I immediately open up DaVinci Resolve and I got to edit all my clips and from the stream or whatever. I have to upload them on Instagram, and of course on Instagram Reels, you can only upload them for like I think the time limit is like 3 minutes, or else they're not going to get pushed. So I have to like cut them in sections. Then I have to upload them, and then I have to do the same thing over on TikTok and upload them. Like it's a fucking grind, man. People see the easy side of content creation, but they don't see everything that goes into it, like uploading on all these different platforms or whatever.
Exactly, and that's the thing too. Like it's extremely difficult, and that's the thing with Hangman Adam Page. I am all for somebody needing to take some time off. He's been somebody who I believe has been healthy throughout his entire AEW run. And really, a lot of wrestlers back in the day when they were working 300 plus days, sometimes they looked forward to getting hurt because they were able to have that vacation. They were able to have that time to rest, get back into shape, because it really does take a mental and physical toll on these wrestlers. So Hangman, I do think that this will benefit him in the long run, because when he comes back, oh man, it's going to be big and it's going to be important. So I think Hangman being away from TV right now is definitely the right move. Will add even more heat to MJF because of that match that they had at Revolution. technically Hangman can't go for the championship, even though Tony Khan pointed out it was a handshake agreement. Technically, no document was signed. So Hangman could technically go against his word eventually. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens next with him. Does he respect his wish that he made against MJF? Or what's going to happen when he comes back? Is he going to screw MJF at All In when he goes against possibly Ospreay or Darby Allin? So there's a lot of opportunities here, and I think it really benefits Hangman taking this time off, and it's going to make things a lot more interesting, especially with MJF's world title run being so unpredictable.
I 100% agree.
Well, we do have another person that's going to be off TV for quite a while in AEW. Let's move on to our next We Are Wrestling Weekly News and Rumors. According to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, Tony Storm will be out of action for a long time due to an undisclosed injury or injuries. AEW was under the impression that she would be wrestling on Dynamite this past week, but were forced to do an emergency angle to take her out. According to Fightful, AEW expects Tony Storm not to be cleared to wrestle through 2026 at a minimum. What's your thoughts on this?
It's not an injury. Yeah, at least that's being reported by, Dave Meltzer, and everybody knows what a fucking, fanboy for AEW Dave Meltzer is. Apparently it's not injury related. They're not sure if she's pregnant or something else going on. I've heard that she's really unhappy with the creative direction that AEW has taken her character, and so she requested this time off to really reset or whatever and figure shit out. So it's not injury related as far as I know. And the reason why I believe that is because, Dave Meltzer is, in the ear of Tony Khan or whatever. So obviously he would be very privy to that information. It doesn't surprise me, man. They haven't really been. The last memorable thing that Tony Storm's done was the feud with Mariah May. She hasn't really done a whole hell of a lot since then. And it just seems like she was grasping at straws. Like she's directionless, and she's one of the best characters in AEW, but they don't really have a direction for that character to go. So
well,
I feel
it's kind of hard to she's somebody just like Damian Priest. I feel like she needs to go off somebody, which is why her and Mariah May it worked so well, because them two both benefit when they're doing something with somebody.
The worst thing that happened to Tony Storm is Mariah May leaving the company. 100%.
100% agree. And they should be doing something with her and Mina, which probably she's the one that probably attacked her. I do think that that rumor of her being the one, I could see that. And then there you go. You could recreate something there with Mina and Tony because they have that tag team. They have that relationship through the years. And that's something that I think they could definitely tell a good story there. But I do think
I will say, I do want to say this. Now it's not confirmed or anything like that. But if there is a child to be born, congratulations to her and Juice Robinson. We just don't know. So,
man, whenever she's ready, to announce what's going on, I'm sure we'll be covering it here on the We Are Wrestling Pod.
We will.
Wish her nothing but the best. And she's also somebody just like Hangman Adam Page, who ever since she arrived in AEW, never took any time off. She's been on the grind nonstop. She's been the face of that women's division, carrying it, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. And I think for her, her to get a break, absolutely deserves it. 100%.
100%.
And hopefully some of these other women that are very talented take advantage of this opportunity while she's away, so that when she comes back, the women's division will be even better than it was.
Absolutely.
All right, well, let's move on now to some legal news here. And this is something that we've been waiting to talk about for quite a while, but of course, things kept getting delayed. And now we finally could talk about it. Ted DiBiase Jr., the son of the $1 Million Man himself, was found not guilty on all 13 counts in Mississippi's welfare fraud scandal. Notable figures involved in this case include former Mississippi Department of Human Services Executive Director John Davis, nonprofit founders Nancy New and Christy Webb, along with Dibiase's brother Brett. Davis, New, Webb, and Brett Dibiase have all pleaded guilty to the charges they faced. Here's what Ted said after he was innocent.
What's up, Jordan?
Pretty much thanked God, and he believed that the right outcome was going to happen, and that's pretty much what happened, and he's excited to go cut his grass and be able to be a full-time father, be a full-time husband, be a full-time family man, and he still wants to continue to help the city, Mississippi out, the community, because of all the stuff being false. So now let's talk about it with Ted DiBiase Jr. Like, what's your thoughts on all of this?
I don't know much
7
about
years
like
he's been going through this.
Yeah, I don't know much about like
Jordan.
Yeah, Jordan, what's going on, bro? I don't know much about like what's been going on or whatever. I've been keeping tabs on it, but I'm not like I'm not into like the whole legal thing. I'm here to talk about pro wrestling and pro wrestling alone. He's been at pro wrestling for a while, so like I haven't really been keeping my ears to the grindstone, as they like to say. It's kind of strange. Everybody that was involved with this, I'm pretty sure, was convicted. He was the only one that was found not guilty, which is kind of strange to me. He was accused of buying like a $1.4 million home, a beachfront house. He went on like a Disney vacation or something. I read in one of the articles or whatever, like, so I mean, it's kind of suspicious a little bit, but like, I'm not a judge or jury. I'm not like, I'm not involved with any of that. So like, I mean, congrats to him. If he did do it, but he ended up being found guilty for whatever reason, fuck you. If he legitimately 100% is innocent, well then congratulations, and hope the best in the future.
Well, in the court of law, he was found not guilty on all 13 counts. And there was definitely something that happened, because like when we were seeing like this news come out for the last 7 years, there was always something, and it didn't really seem like he was going to get out of this.
He was looking at 180 years, I think, like that. He was like, it was not good.
But he firmly believed, especially when the odds were against him, that he like didn't do anything wrong. And that's the thing too. Like, we really don't know the financial situation with Ted DiBiase, because of course, a lot of former professional wrestlers, some of them invest their money into different businesses, into properties, and that's how they're able to live comfortably. They get to do independence. They don't have to really worry about going check to check. So we don't really know like the whole thing there. But it does seem like Ted DiBiase is set free of all these charges. Everybody's got a price. That's been like the meme that's been going on. But he's innocent according to the state of law. So honestly, happy for him.
Did you see the video he posted on Twitter for like the first time in years?
Him mowing the grass? I did.
God is good.
But here's the thing too. Like, I also kind of believe that he was innocent, because if you like, a lot of the times, like after court, you'll have like all these news cameras. Like, this is where they finally get to talk, because the lawyers obviously tell them to stay quiet, because they'll use anything against you.
Yeah.
So DiBiase, like, you could just tell how emotional, like how much of a like a mentally it took like out of him to go through this. And I feel like you could just tell that like he really like was innocent after all, because just like listening to his voice, like just looking at like the way like his body movement, like I really do believe that like DiBiase's innocent. But now the thing that we need to talk about, because of course this isn't a state of law podcast. Sure, there's plenty of those out there. This is a pro wrestling pod. And a lot of people are speculating, and I think this would be a fun little rumor to talk about a little bit. Randy Orton has been on the phone calls the past couple weeks, and some people are saying WWE should have Ted DiBiase be the one on the phone with Randy, because of the history that he has with Cody Rhodes and Randy with their faction legacy.
I mean, we saw Ted DiBiase was doing an interview, and you saw Junior in the back. He was on the phone, and
Teasing it.
Ted DiBiase was like, wait a minute. He looked over to the Junior and was like, he was like, April 19th, book it, Vegas. He's like, well, book it. He's like, he was on the phone with somebody, we don't know. And the interviewer was like, is he on the phone with Randy Orton? He's like, I don't know. So like they're teasing something.
Well, I think it's probably going to be WrestleCon realistically, because obviously right now everybody's talking about him. So somebody's definitely bringing him into WrestleCon, and he's going to capitalize on that.
He's been out of wrestling for so many years, though. Like,
Yeah, and when people are out of wrestling for so long and you go to a wrestling convention, just like Rick Martel, like you're going to have a line out the door. So DiBiase is going to have quite a line.
Do you think with all this legal notoriety, because like public perception is everything, especially in WWE, and like WWE is not the most straight and narrow fucking company to work for, as we've seen, but like with all, like there's always going to be, even though he was found not guilty, there's always people that are going to be like, fuck that. Like, yeah, he is guilty. So there's like the public perception of him is, I feel like it's changed. Do you think WWE would risk right now, like risk bringing him into the company for whether it's a one-off or whether it's a short run or anything?
Yes, they would. They would do it because we've heard Nick Khan talk about this when Lesnar made his return.
Mm-hmm.
Lesnar was not guilty. So with Ted DiBiase, so when it comes to Ted DiBiase Jr., he went to court. All 13 counts, he was found not guilty. And I think Triple H, Nick Khan, and WWE, they have a perfect opportunity here. And I've always said this for over 200 episodes. Timing is everything. Randy's fighting Cody at WrestleMania 42 in the main event of WrestleMania. Ted DiBiase, he's been in courtrooms for 7 years with this scandal. All of a sudden, he's found not guilty in March of 2026, 1 month away from WrestleMania. Timing is everything, and I feel like this is a calling.
And like
it's meant to be. Ted DiBiase is meant to be at WrestleMania, cost Cody Rhodes the championship, align with Randy Orton.
I do kind of like, part of me kind of feels like that too. If he was going to WrestleCon though, I feel like it would have to be the entire weekend because of how many people that would be there to meet him. So it wouldn't make any sense for it to be like April 19th. It'd be like, the entire weekend or whatever.
No, a lot of wrestlers, they do 1 or 2 days there.
Yeah, but like I feel like he
makes it more valuable doing it.
Yeah, but also he would make a lot more money if he did it the entire weekend. And
I know.
Like
Brian right now, Matt Cardona's yelling at Brian Myers because Brian Myers is only doing Thursday and Friday, and then he's going to be taking a red eye home to be with his family. Matt Cardona said, "You're stupid. You should be there freaking Saturday and Sunday when it's going to be the most popular." So there's wrestlers that don't really think about it that way. So DiBiase doing it one day, I wouldn't even overthink that.
Cindy Khan says the legacy fanboy in me just wants Ted to appear at Mania.
And that's the thing too. Like a lot of you, you're talking about the backlash with DiBiase. I go on Twitter. Everybody wants Ted in WWE. They want him to be a part of this with Cody and Randy. So honestly, like I'm one of them because he's innocent. Like he has been found innocent. So now, honestly, timing is everything. This is literally the perfect time.
Do I think DiBiase Jr. would have been successful outside of WWE? He's been in legal issues for the last 7 years, so no.
Well, he was successful like the first couple years of like being out of WWE, like he was doing conventions and stuff. But I do think that DiBiase, man, like if there's a time and place to come back, it's right now. It's at WrestleMania.
Do you think he has enough time to get in shape though? Because
yes, he does. You know why?
He seems like he's put on some weight. Not even gonna lie.
Yeah, but here's the thing. His dad was very successful at being a manager when he had to stop wrestling. He was a manager for, I believe it was Money Incorporated. That was like the Don Callis family of 1995, where like all the bad guys would be with him. Guys that like they really didn't have a direction for. Dibiase would be their manager.
What does that have to do with? What does that have to do with?
What does this have to do with Ted DiBiase Jr.? He could be a manager. Like it's, you don't forget how to take a bump overnight.
Well, no, but I'm not saying anything about that. I'm saying, do you think he has enough time to get into ring?
Yes,
shape?
he does, because he has 1 month. 1 month to get in shape.
Less than a month.
Okay, well, guess what? He's not making his in-ring debut at WrestleMania. You could build this with Cody. Maybe wait until, it doesn't even have to be Backlash. You could do Clash in Paris. You could have this match at Clash in Paris. Give Ted DiBiase some time. But have him at WrestleMania cost Cody the match and align with Randy. That would be such a
I will say,
twist.
I'm 100% down for it if it makes WWE TV more entertaining to watch. Right now, the only thing I'm excited about on WWE TV is the Obafemi and Brock Lesnar thing, and I just enjoy and have a good time streaming. So if I was not streaming and if I was just watching the shows like everybody else, I'd be bored out of my fucking mind every single week.
Randy's on the phone with somebody and they're going to do something with this. And here's what I think. If it's not Ted DiBiase Jr., because WWE might not want to take that risk, but I don't think Nick Khan cares about the IWC really and what they think. The second option I have is Kevin Owens. What if Kevin Owens is cleared and he helps Randy? Sammy helps Randy. Randy aligns with Sammy and Kevin.
So like a new legacy kind of
thing? It won't be Ric Flair. Ric Flair is still under an AEW contract. But I would rather it be DiBiase Jr. Because I do think with the legacy story, like that would be such.
You rather it be DiBiase Jr. than The Rock? Well, The Rock is going to show up because they need to set up
Roman and Punk.
They need to set up the match between Rock and Roman for next year.
Roman and Punk. Let's not waste our time here. So, but I do think that it's either Kevin Owens or Ted DiBiase Jr. And that's the thing too. Kevin Owens could be, maybe if he can't get back in the ring right now, he could always be a mouthpiece for Randy.
Kevin Owens has been doing some conventions here and there. Like he was at MegaCon in Orlando doing something, I think, for like his daughter's softball team or something like that.
Dude, I'm so excited for DiBiase. Like I really hope it is him, but I don't see it happening.
Don't get your hopes up. Okay, like
but it excites me.
Want it to happen, but go in not thinking that it's gonna happen. That way,
I know it's not gonna happen.
That way it doesn't happen. It won't upset.
I know it's not going to happen. I do think realistically it will be Kevin or Sammy, but we'll have to wait and see. Let's see what some of the Maniacs said here. Oh yeah, we got Rage here. I agree with Don on this one. Appreciate that. Angelo, I would like DiBiase much more than The Rock. Just keep The Rock away from Cody. I think we all agree on that. James all day. He managed Stone Cold when he first signed with WWE back in '96. That's right. Ted DiBiase did. Exactly. James agrees with you, Danny. How dare you not mention Danhausen?
Very nice, very evil. Bro, he's great. And the shit that he did with Speed on Monday was fucking phenomenal.
NXT is building a new legacy type faction with Lexis King and Charlie Dempsey. I do like what they're doing there. Tyrus, Sammy also got a chance not to betray Cody. Breaking bottles isn't enough for a heel hint. True.
And then Randy keeps saying that wrestling has more than one royal family. So, like, there's the inn, And
you see, like, how can I not be excited about thinking it could be Ted DiBiase? How could I not be?
Because of the history.
It's such
so many people hate.
Say what you want about Tony Khan. If this was Tony Khan, he instantly would have taken advantage of this opportunity and had Ted DiBiase.
Bro, Tony Khan doesn't fucking
he would do fan service here.
He doesn't take advantage of any opportunity, man.
He would do fan service here. At least he gives a fuck about us.
Yeah, and then he would never mention it again. Just like with the Ronda Rousey thing.
I'm glad that she ain't coming back. Keep her far away.
People are gonna I feel like you can do this and have Ted DiBiase be a heel because so many people are gonna dislike him because of the whole course situation. So like you can play into that a little bit.
But you see, some of the casuals might not even know who he is, so make him a bad guy.
Exactly.
And if he crosses Cody, that's already going to create massive heat with the fans.
Well, you got to think like people, like when Randy was brutalizing Cody, the fans were wanting to being like more. Randy Orton's gonna get cheered at.
But the kids don't like that, and that's what they market the kids. I hate to say it, but that's the facts.
They market the kids so much that they have fucking their superstars doing fucking signings and fucking sponsoring of fucking vodka and fucking fire
pasta. Fucking pasta. I can't believe it. $11,000. You get to make pasta with the WWE superstar.
Bro, they had fucking they had Jacob Fatu do a meet and greet before SmackDown on Friday, and he was signing bottles of fucking Fireball. Cause that's what I want my kids to have, a fucking bottle, a signed bottle of Fireball.
Well, Fireball Danny's paying him a lot of money. TKO doesn't care. Oh, you're under 21? Oh, who cares? Have some Fireball. As long as we're making some money. Oh, shit. All right, well, hopefully Ted DiBiase, they capitalize on this opportunity because I know I'm not the only one that wants to see him at WrestleMania cost Cody. All right, well.
She is married to Trish Robinson.
So, like, you're telling me, Danny, like, do you want to see that?
What, Ted DiBiase Jr.? I wouldn't mind seeing it. I'm gonna go in with the expectation that he's not showing up. Just that way, if it doesn't happen, I don't get my hopes up. But go in wanting it to happen, but go in also thinking that it's not going to that way. It doesn't get your hopes up.
Yeah, that's also another good fact by James All Day. Yeah, DiBiase had a scandal, but wrestlers like MVP, Jacob Fatu, and Zilla Fatu actually went to prison. DiBiase was found not guilty.
MVP got arrested for armed robbery and fucking kidnapping. He fucking locked the bitch in a fucking broom closet. I know that's fucked up to laugh about, but
all right, well, here's something that's fucked up, and I think you're gonna agree with me on this. According to Fightful, word going around at SmackDown is that Tama Tonga was fined by WWE for posting a video of rehearsals last week. Tama Tonga's fine from WWE was in the 5-figure territory. Do you think this is right?
Do we have the video pulled up so people can see it?
Yeah, let me pull it up. The video that he did. But share your thoughts on it.
I think it's WWE's way of controlling the situation. Because like they have Unreal, right, which shows a lot. But one that is usually not shown months after it actually happens, and they only show you pieces that they want you to see. So this is WWE's way of controlling the situation. Although I will say it's fucked up because you can't really see anybody in the video outside of Solo Sikoa just sitting there on the fucking guardrail. Like you see people in the ring, you see people talking, but the way the video is filmed, like you can't. It's not like he zoomed in on anybody. Like you can't see anything. And then he asked the producer, like, what time did the doors open? The producer's like, now,
Yeah. So I got the footage here. We'll show the
show the footage so people can get a understanding of what's going on in Kiss.
All right, so guys, here is the footage that Tama Tonga posted, and I believe this was on his TikTok. Let me take that off screen. There it is, and we'll play it. So basically, like showing what happens before like the doors close, or before they. So basically, that's the video that Tama Tonga posted, and he got a 5-figure fine for it.
Yeah, that's WWE's way of controlling the situation. And it was kind of funny because he did he's been on Instagram Live a lot over the last couple weeks or whatever. And he was live today or whatever, and he mentioned that he's in the doghouse. But he also mentioned he's like, I've been in the doghouse my entire life or whatever fucking terminology that he used. I mean, I don't think it's a big deal. Obviously, a lot of you guys don't think it's a big deal. You can't really see like what's happening. I understand to an extent. Tama Tonga has been posting a lot. So is Tala Tonga. That's another one.
Tall as fuck Tonga.
There was another video backstage of them like that somebody was filming, and it was of a pre-tape promo that the MFTs were doing. And like you could see everything. You could see like the cameraman, you could see like a producer counting them down and being like, telling them when to go or whatever. And then at the end, you saw them all shaking hands and fucking, congratulations that everybody did a good job on the segment or whatever. So like they've been doing a little bit too much as far as backstage stuff. And WWE obviously is not.
I don't give a fuck. That was nothing. I'm sorry. That's bullshit. If you could show all the shit that's happening on WWE Unreal, yeah, I don't care. Like, that's nothing. They're literally opening up the doors for the fans. Who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
Like, I understand, like, in the Vince era, like, you had to make an example out of somebody, but isn't it supposed to be a new era? That's what Nick Khan and Triple H and all the WWE folks say, and Gorilla. It's a new era. Stanford, that's what they all say in the office. It's a new era. Here's here's the comments he made on the live stream. Here's what he said, and I quote: "When you get hit with something, you can just take the hit and keep on moving. Can't let that bring you down, you know?" So at least he's like being cool about it, but I still think it's bullshit. Like, if you could show everything that's happening on Unreal, but like you're gonna get mad at the man for posting on Instagram, even though there's been other people that have posted leaked stuff before.
I'm telling you, bro, it's gonna get even more insane. Like, it's the fucking meta glasses, man. You wear those fucking sunglasses, and they're fucking. You can record shit, and people are like,
well, wrestlers are already doing recording.
It. Exactly. So, it's.
But here's another point I want to make too about this and why I think it's bullshit. If this was Logan Paul on his YouTube channel posting something that was happening at rehearsal with Stu, WWE is not going to be upset about that. They're not going to fine Logan Paul 5 figures. They're just going to brush it off because it's Logan Paul.
Because Logan Paul, nobody in WWE has the kind of reach that Logan Paul has. Logan Paul's personal Instagram has almost as much followers as WWE's account.
Exactly. Angelo, you make a solid point here. And there was so much people and producers by him. Nobody told him the policy or could have warned him. Well, I think he already knows because it's probably in the contract, but still, it's like WWE Unreal. They're showing all of this stuff anyways. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, there's nobody in the ring rehearsing when he was recording. Like, I can understand if, like, he got that on film. I don't know.
I feel like he's gonna get banned from fucking using the meta glasses that fucking WWE shows. But like,
yep. And then you know what's gonna happen? WWE, they probably are gonna say, well, if you didn't show this clip, we would have given you the United States Championship, and they're gonna use that as an excuse.
And
somebody.
And James O'Day says, I think that's why they lost the WWE tag team titles. That has nothing to do with that because Tama Tonga wasn't even a tag team champion. So why, like, just because he fucked up, why would they take the titles off of his partners? Like, that just wouldn't make any sense. It was Jason Mateo and Solo Sikoa that are tag team champions. So that doesn't make any sense. So
I think it's just stupid. That's bullshit with Tama Tonga. But hey, that's the WWE way, I guess.
You gotta set an example though, because if you just let it slide, then fucking everybody's gonna be recording all kinds of shit, and it's just gonna get haywire.
Yeah, but dude, I'll tell you this right now. I'll be so mad if they don't. I'll be so mad if like they ruin this push because I see the direction that they're trying to go in with Tama Tonga, and they better not fuck that up. Because I like what they're doing with Shinsuke and him backstage. That's like one little thing that I'm liking that WWE's been doing.
Shinsuke and Tama Tonga have a lot of history, but like he even said, like, people don't know half the history that fucking me and Shinsuke have, me and Finn Balor have. Like, there's a lot of history there that fans are just, especially WWE fans, are not privy to because they don't watch anything outside of WWE, which is why I always encourage you guys to, watch stuff outside of WWE because sooner or later, there's going to be people that you watch, whether on the Indies or in New Japan or AEW, that are going to be making their way to WWE eventually.
Oh, for sure. And I always say to people, support indie wrestling, because those are the stars of tomorrow. Like, you got a free picture with Smart Mark Sterling at a Pioneer Valley show. Now the man is on AEW and Ring of Honor, dude. Like,
I did.
You can't go wrong at an indie
He's
show.
a lawyer for MJF.
Yes, he is. All right, well, let's move on now to some celebrity crossover WrestleMania news. WWE is negotiating with Tom Brady for what could be an appearance at WrestleMania. Dave Meltzer stated this, and I quote, "From what I've been told, they are in negotiations for Tom Brady, but there's absolutely not a deal at this point for Tom. So it could be, obviously, Logan Paul and Tom Brady are working. Everyone knows they're working this angle. I think people have seen that coming in, but they could be something in some type of form at WrestleMania. It would not be a surprise, and what they did in the flag football game was clearly to build it, and all the talk of Tom Brady cutting down pro wrestling and all the wrestlers responding is that all storyline. That is not Tom Brady's a dick, and he doesn't respect pro wrestling. So, what's your thoughts on Tom Brady possibly maybe making a little run-in or an appearance at WrestleMania 42? Because we have heard the news that WWE is trying to bring in as much big celebrities to this WrestleMania to bring that big feeling back.
I'll start off with saying, fuck Tom Brady for one simple thing is, like, he went on an interview or whatever and said that, wrestling is fake and that, what they do is cute and this and that. Like, it just, like, to me, like, even if that is trying to build to something happening at Mania, that's not a way to do it, because that's just going to get wrestling fans like me fucking heated, because we know the amount of work that it takes to do what, people in WWE and AEW, New Japan, like all these people, all these performers, do. It's not like you can just wake up, in the morning and fucking go and do it. I don't respect anybody that calls wrestling fake, because it's
not. But I do want to play devil's advocate here. Logan Paul has made similar comments to Tom Brady based off football, saying that he's capable of doing what Brady and these other football players like Gronk, and even who's there was somebody that he was trying to fight. I forgot his name. Oh, it was shit. What the hell? Why am I drawing a blank right now? Damn. It was a Steelers play. I know you don't watch sports, so you don't know. I don't even. Where the hell is Dan Eddie when I need him? Shit.
I know who you're talking. I know it was.
Le'Veon Bell. Yes, Le'Veon Bell. So Logan Paul has made some comments about saying like how he can take that profession. Like, so it's you could.
But the thing is, he's not calling football fake. He's not saying, "Oh, what they do is cute." He's not fucking like being derogatory towards the sport. He's just saying a true fact that he could do it, and he probably can. Fucking Logan Paul is extremely fucking athletic, bro.
Yeah, but he's not a Division I football player where he.
No, I'm not saying that. But what Logan said about football is a lot more tame than fucking Tom Brady calling pro wrestling fake. When he's never stepped foot in the fucking ring. You know what I mean?
I agree with you on that.
So I don't respect that, and I feel like if that's gonna spread like wildfire, and I feel like if he does show up at WrestleMania, he's gonna get booed out of the fucking building. They want him at Mania because I think he lives in Vegas right now, and two, he's co-owner of
Las Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, of football team or whatever.
That's what I was gonna say.
Obviously, they want him there for the publicity that it'll bring WWE, and he's a very, very big name or whatever. So I can see him doing something. I don't think he's going to be having a match, because as far as I know, I've never heard of a report of him like training or like getting in a ring or anything like that. I could see him getting in a shoving match with Logan Paul or costing Logan Paul a match, or I could see him doing something like that. Kind of like what Gronk did when he fucking when he took out Mojo Rawley, that wrestling, or not Gronk. Was it
Ginger
Gronk?
Mahal. No, Ginger Mahal. Yeah, Gronk took out Ginger Mahal during
the
Memorial Battle Royal.
Yeah, so I could see something like that happening. But like I have nothing personally against Tom Brady. I don't respect anybody that calls pro wrestling fake. I just
So
don't.
I do want to address. So I
That's
do
a
want to
wrong way
address
of going
this.
about things.
I do agree with that. But Angelo here in the live chat, the disrespect on both sports should just end. I just became a football fan, and I like both very much. They are both different. Agree, but you see, here's the thing. Throughout pro wrestling, professional wrestling, this cardy business, that's what Zach Gowen said on our pod, this cardy business, you want to sell a fight. You want to sell a match. That's just how it is. Logan Paul and Tom Brady, that's what they're doing here. They're trying to create controversy so that people tune in, because you're not going to watch just a bunch of celebrities run around, skip, and take flags off of their waist and play flag football. Like, that's not interesting. That's not fun. So, of course, when you have Logan Paul and Tom Brady taking shots at each other's sports and what they do, and then taking shots at each other, people are going to want to tune in. People are going to be interested. People are going to want to spend money on that. So I do think WWE, I don't think Dave Meltzer came up with this report. I will just say that right now, because this is just common sense. Like, I think anybody could have saw this from a mile away if you were paying attention to this whole Logan Paul and Tom Brady rivalry, that this was going to lead to a WrestleMania thing, because Logan Paul did something with Fanatics and Tom Brady with the flag football. In return, Brady's probably going to be at WrestleMania because it's in Las Vegas, and he's going to do something there. Like, Dave Meltzer did not come up with this epithet. He did not come up with this shit. Can't even talk. So I hate that Dave Meltzer's name's on this, but like, it's such common sense. Yeah. And I do think that Tom Brady, like, I could see this happening where he crosses Logan or something. Like, we get like that little face off. Brady like maybe punches him, or Logan does something to him. A viral clip, something Logan Paul I feel like hasn't done in a little while, now that he's been like a full-time wrestler. So like, I'm all for it if it's going to get more attention in the professional wrestling hemisphere.
Yeah, I guess.
Let's see here what we have. Tyrus, Samoans outside of WWE sell CM Punk's disrespect, and people think that's legit heat. That's how they can sell Mania tickets in a cardy way. Exactly. So getting Brady involved, that's going to get people interested. Same with Logan Paul, like starting shit with him, like it only makes sense. Because more people now are paying attention to what Brady's doing outside of it, and it's also more people are paying attention to what Logan's doing in the WWE. And I think now that he's been full-time, like he's kind of lost that attention because he hasn't really been doing a lot of those viral clips. So I think him doing this with Brady is brilliant, especially for WrestleMania. It's smart marketing. Exactly, Wavy. All right, well, with that being said, normally we go into the getting put over segment, but we don't have anybody to put over this week. Next week, though, for our getting put over, we're going to be putting over Perry Saturn, a nice Attitude Era WCW legend. And the reason why we're going to be putting him over, he had a comedy gimmick with a mop. And it's April Fool's next Wednesday, live on the We Are Wrestling Pod. So we're going to be putting over Perry Saturn. But now, with that being said, I think it's time for the main event. What do you say?
Let's get it.
It's time for your main event topic. Oh, yeah, baby. It's time for the We Are Wrestling Podcast main event topic. Here we go. This man has been making a lot of headliners for the wrong reasons. And I think his trying to get real heat has finally got to him.
I know where this is going.
Oh, you know where this is going. We have to talk about it. According to Fightful, well, Ricochet got himself into some trouble. On X, formerly known as Twitter, Ricochet likes to go back and forth with the IWC. And following AEW Revolution, Ricochet told this fan, "I'm glad you got MS." Later, Ricochet would apologize, and he said this, I took out my hatred for the IWC on Sandy, and inadvertently others who are affected by MS. She didn't deserve it, and for that, I sincerely apologize. Moving forward, I'll do better. According to Fightful, AEW nor Warner Brothers Discovery made Ricochet apologize. AEW officials told him afterwards it was the right thing to do. It was also confirmed Chris Hero was the friend who reached out to Ricochet to give him advice on the offensive tweet about MS. Ricochet's wife, former WWE ring announcer Samantha Irvin, revealed on Instagram that her and her husband have been receiving death threats following this. As of right now, AEW hasn't done anything about this. We haven't really seen a statement or anything. What do you think AEW should do about this? I say we talk about the whole tweet that Ricochet made, talk about that, and then, of course, the death threats, that's like a whole nother thing that we could save for last.
So, let's set the stage here, okay? So, Ricochet lost his title during the Battle Royal on the pre-show Revolution. After that match happened, AEW posted a clip of Ricochet backstage, and he was going fucking crazy, hitting things with chairs or whatever. And like really like setting up his anger for like, the fact that he lost or whatever. It gets posted on Twitter. A fan responds to that video saying with smiley face, or laughing emoji, laughing, whatever. And was like, it's good to see that Ricochet's acting hasn't improved. So Ricochet took that as a jab at him. And that's when he posted, "I'm glad you got MS," because the woman obviously deals with that. And it's been widely publicized everywhere except the dirt sheets. Ironically enough, Sean Ross Sapp, Fightful, all these different publications that report everything in WWE. This big thing happens in AEW, and not one motherfucker reports it. And this is what I'm saying when it comes to like the dirt sheets being in Tony Khan's pocket a little bit. And it's also kind of crazy the fact that who just got signed and released by AEW because of a Facebook post that he made 9 years ago.
Yeah,
and
Craig McGill.
And Ricochet posts this, and not one word from anybody. Tony Khan doesn't talk about it. AEW hasn't posted about it. Sean Ross Sapp hasn't posted about it. Nobody's talking about it outside of content creators and other fucking podcasters that
and
have
another
no kind of
and
affiliation.
also, Danny, another thing that needs to be added because of these dirt sheets not talking about this with Ricochet, he still has all of his indie bookings that are coming up within the next few weeks as well.
He hasn't lost one.
You see, that's one thing I want to just point out here real quick. When it comes to the We Are Wrestling podcast, we're not afraid to talk about anything. We're going to talk about the good, of course, because I think that we don't get enough of that in the IWC, but we're also going to talk about the bad, and we're going to call out the bullshit. And I feel like Ricochet needs to be held accountable for this because it's one thing getting heat, but come on. On fucking Twitter. Are you kidding me? On Twitter.
Like, if he would have posted, you have a big ass forehead or something like that. But like,
who cares?
You don't post about somebody's like some illness or whatever that somebody is legitimately dealing with.
And that's the thing that's fucked up about it is Ricochet probably found out by going on to this person's profile.
That's like that's like you going out.
Like he clicked the person's profile clearly. Saw the condition this person was in, and decides to make that comment.
Yeah,
which is absolutely uncalled for. And it's one thing to get heat, but going to those levels, that's just not right.
And apparently, Warner Brothers Discovery had no issue with it. They have an issue with something that somebody posted 9 years ago, but they don't have an issue with this. It makes you kind of question a lot. You know what I mean? And like that's like you getting in a Twitter battle with somebody that's dealing with like cancer or something, and knowing that and being like, "I'm glad you got cancer. I'm glad you're gonna be dead in a couple months." Like you don't fucking say shit like that. And like just the fact that Tony Khan or AEW have taken any kind of responsibility or like taken any kind of liability when it comes to this is fucking insane to me.
So I do want to share my thoughts on this because I hate the person Ricochet has become. Because going back to Black and Gold NXT, I was a big fan of his. I loved Ricochet, especially in the beginning of his WWE run. But of course, bad booking led to one thing after another, which led to him deciding to leave, going to AEW. I was really excited about this signing because Ricochet is super talented in the ring. But you see, the reason why people either one, don't give a fuck about him anymore, and two, the problem is with this whole Ricochet thing is he's trying too hard, which is why it's not coming off authentic. And that's why, like, people are just not getting behind him.
Yep.
It's really, that's what it is. Like, he's trying way too freaking hard and it's coming off corny. That's really the truth here. Ricochet just needs to be himself. Like, people loved him in WWE because he was being himself. People loved him in Lucha Underground as Prince Puma because he was just so talented and so gifted. But it's like Ricochet is just trying too hard to be this bad guy. And it's like he's really just not thinking about the boundaries here, which is why he's going on these like tantrums on Twitter and it's not working. Like clearly, like people, like he does get like a ball chant here and there, but it's like he's not where he once was. And it's so sad to see because I was such a big fan of his. And it's like, what the fuck happened to Ricochet for real?
And I remember when he first went to AEW and when that news first broke or whatever, like we were fucking stoked about it because we were like, finally, Ricochet can be himself and like, you know, he can have all these fucking great matches or whatever. I feel like AEW has to set something in place or whatever to where like I feel like their performer social media, because this isn't the first time that somebody from AEW has went on a fucking tirade on fucking Twitter or whatever and fucking like said some stuff they weren't supposed to. Maybe not to this extent, but it's not the first time. I feel like it's becoming a regular occurrence. I feel like Tony Khan and AEW, like they need to have a meeting and they need to have something set in place to where like, you know, maybe the performers or whatever need to, you know, get taught like proper ways of using social media, you know, to rather garner interest or get heat or whatever, but in a right way, not like personally attacking somebody.
It just wasn't right, like what he tweeted, what he posted, and I feel like there needs to be some type of repercussion here, whether that's him being suspended for a little bit.
Bro, he hasn't even been fined for it, as far as I know.
Fired, suspended, fined. At least something needs to happen here because that was way out of line. Like, exactly. and that's the thing too. Like Ricochet, like the right thing, like I would do if I was in his position, I would donate to an MS charity. Like, do something out of the kindness of your heart.
What I would do is I would fine him, but the amount of money that the fine is, I would have him donate that to a charity.
Yeah, but I think also money out of his own pocket should be getting donated as well.
Yeah.
But now I do want to talk about the dirt sheets here because I have seen Sean Ross Sapp.
You also gotta take in the fact that one, the tweet was up for like 16 hours, and right after that tweet, he called people bitches and pussies because people can talk shit about him, but he can't say anything back. And he proceeded to call everybody bitches and pussies.
Wow, you get called being bald and that you're a bad actor. I would rather be called that than getting called out for a disability that I have. Fuck you.
All right, now what were you going to say?
All right, so here's what I was going to say, because now I do want to talk about Sean Ross Sapp and Fightful, because, of course, they're one of the biggest news sources out there. That's where we get a lot of our news that we cover every week on our pro wrestling podcast. We're just fans at the end of the day that are wrestling marks. I think there's nothing wrong with that. Sean Ross Sapp, like I believe he's admitted that he's a wrestling mark as well. And a lot of these like sources, I respect Sean Ross Sapp and the work that this man does, because going and writing these articles, it's a lot of work that goes into it. And Sean Ross Sapp puts a lot of work, a lot of time, a lot of effort into what he does. So I'm never going to discredit that, because we're content creators. We know the grind is most certainly real.
Yep.
But here's my problem. If you are a journalist, if you are a news source that not only We Are Wrestling gets our news from, but all pro wrestling fans across the IWC get your news from, you have to talk about the good. You have to talk about the bad, no matter what. I don't care if it was Sean Ross's day off. You go and report that shit because it's a headliner. You have all these other news sources that are covering this whole controversial tweet. It doesn't matter what you're doing. Like, I know there's a YouTuber that I listen to a lot because I'm a huge sports fan, Flight Microphone, where he covers basketball and football content. And sometimes, like, this man will be on trips, like, across the world, and he will have to do a video covering a big trade or something big happening in the NBA or the NFL. He has to do that because there's football and basketball fans that rely on him when it comes to news sources with the news.
Yeah.
Fightful is one of them. And the fact that they didn't even talk about it, this is not a direct shot at Sean Ross Sapp, but the whole Fightful company itself. That's disappointing. And then the thing that kind of gets me thinking about, like, are they trying to cover Ricochet, is you bring up the friend. Chris Hero is the one that basically talked Ricochet into apologizing and why it was wrong for him to post that tweet. Who gives a fuck that Chris Hero was the one that he was talking to? What the people give a fuck about is they want the insight on this whole situation here. And that's the thing too, like, that's kind of hard with certain wrestling news sources out there, is that they're friends with these guys and girls. So of course, like, you don't want to see your friend lose their job or get fined or lose their position on television. So I think that that's also another thing that a lot of people, I think, are not talking about either with this whole thing. And I feel like Sean Ross Sapp, like, he's in the wrong here. And I saw him, like, trying to call out everybody in the IWC saying, like, oh, if you disagree with me, come on my show and I'll prove you wrong.
Yeah.
Which he had some very, very valid points on that show because I did listen to it and watched it.
One thing that was funny to me is he
but at the end of the day, like, you got to call out the good and the bad.
One thing that was funny to me, because I'd listened to that show too, where he had some streamer content creator guy from Twitter on the show, whatever.
Yeah.
And what was funny to me was he outright said that, because he has like 4 or 5 employees or whatever that write for Fightful. It's not just Sean. And one of his other writers, Lambert something. And he asked him why he didn't write an article about the Ricochet tweet or whatever. And he was like, because it's not newsworthy. The response was, it's not newsworthy. And if we made an article for every single ridiculous tweet that a pro wrestler said, that's all Fightful would become.
Yeah, but you see here, that's a load of bullshit at the end of the day, because this is newsworthy. People are talking about it. People are talking about it. And that's the thing. Like, yeah, there might be some news on some weeks where you and I and Ben and Dan Eddy, we don't want to talk about it, but we have to.
We have to. It's what we do, you know.
It's what
people
we
come
do.
here and rely on us to, you know, to give our thoughts on, you know, the biggest news stories that happen in pro wrestling.
Because you see here, people subscribe to the We Are Wrestling podcast because we're not pro wrestlers by any means. We are fans just like them. And we have this platform that we express our opinion, whether we agree with something or disagree with something. Because I feel like there's not enough pro wrestling fans that use a platform like this to express their thoughts on something. Because at the end of the day, I firmly believe that, like, not only, like, do, like, the legends, their opinions matter, not only do the wrestlers' opinions matter or creative or whatever, but most importantly, the fans matter, because we're the ones that are buying the pay-per-views. We're the ones going on WWE shop spending money. I have a whole room full of WWE Mattel action figures, for crying out loud. We love the sport. We buy tickets. We go to these shows. We support these guys. We take a lot of time out of our busy schedules to watch the weekly programming, taking time out of our weekends to watch the premier live events. So at the end of the day, the We Are Wrestling podcast is a platform where we give fans a fan's perspective on what's happening in the professional wrestling industry.
Exactly.
And I feel like a lot of people try to brush us off, but I do think that sometimes our opinions are a lot better than the people that are in those writing rooms. Our opinions do matter because we're the ones that are spending our time, our hard-earned money on what we're watching.
Exactly. And as far as I know, Dave Meltzer hasn't spoke about the situation. He might have. I don't fucking, spend my day scouring fucking Twitter to see what Dave Meltzer has to say. I do know Brian Alvarez addressed it on YouTube on one of the podcasts or whatever that he did, and he called the tweet absolute bullshit, and that Ricochet is definitely 100% in the wrong for this. So I mean, shout out to Brian Alvarez, because he seems a lot more level-headed than fucking Dave Meltzer is.
Well, obviously, because Dave Meltzer and Sean Ross Sapp, like, you can say what you want about them, they're characters, and the reason they act the way that they act on social media and on their podcast is to get clicks, is to get attention. That's why JD from New York, same thing. I respect the hustle. I respect the grind from all of these guys, but they do it to get clicks and they do it to get views. And
well, if you're not doing this to get clicks and engagement and views and fucking get your analytics up, you shouldn't be doing it in the first place. So I understand.
But here's the thing, Danny. There's people that are subscribed to Dave Meltzer. There's people that are subscribed to Sean Ross Sapp. So clearly, what they're doing is right. They're making money.
Yep.
At the end of the day, and do I agree with it? No, because if you're a journalist, you need to cover the good and you need to cover the bad, and that's the thing about me. I will talk about the bad, but I will also talk about the good.
It's instances like this, and like we've talked about it, especially when the whole Trey Miguel situation happened, and I brought it up to you. Like it almost does kind of seem like Tony Khan has a lot of these guys in his pocket because something if something like this happened in WWE, bro, they report it like that. It happened in AEW, and all of a sudden people are on vacation. They don't think it's news. They don't want to talk about it. It's shit like this that makes people assume that they are in the pocket of Tony Khan.
Here's the thing. I try to get extra followers for the We Are Wrestling social medias, which, guys, please go follow us on the social medias because I pretty much run everything that's We Are Wrestling behind
Follow
the
us on
scenes.
Twitter.
And Twitter as well. I was at Big Event New York this weekend. I had to post stuff on the We Are Wrestling socials. I had to post stuff on socials even when I want to have a day off. Like, that's the thing. At the end, it's just a load of shit, man. And I hate it. And now I do want to talk about the death threats because I do see what the Maniacs are saying here, and I do agree. Samantha Irvin and Ricochet do not deserve death threats over this entire thing, especially Samantha Irvin. And it just shows you how toxic the IWC really is. You can hate Ricochet, you can hate whoever you want. That's one thing. But come on. Wishing death upon these guys, especially over a tweet. Like, give me a break. Like, that's the thing, too. Like, there's just so much negativity in this world. And it's like, man, if people like that were like sending these death threats to Samantha and Ricochet, if they could just touch grass and they can just be positive, maybe say like 5 good things. And like when you wake up, it could make such a difference with your morale. It can make such a difference with your stress. It can make such a difference with your attitude.
I think it even got to the point to where Samantha Irvin deleted her X account.
Yeah, and I don't blame her.
I don't know if it's back or not. I haven't looked, but
I doubt it. But it's so unfortunate that like it has to get to this level too, and it just tells you how toxic the IWC is.
Yeah, but like none of it would have been happening if it wasn't for Ricochet. So like he's
Ricochet shouldn't have posted the tweet, and Fightful trying to hide. That's just bullshit.
There's people that have.
Here's the thing too, though. I got a great point to make right here, and I'm going to leave it as this.
Leave it as this.
There was some news. Wasn't there some news about The Miz that We Are Wrestling posted on X, I blew the fuck up. I forgot what it was. Sean Ross Sapp, he went and quote tweeted saying it was a bunch of bullshit or something. Don't believe like Twitter accounts or whatever. So you can quote tweet something about The Miz at like a golf thing, but you don't cover something that people in the IWC are clearly upset about.
Yep.
I don't get it.
And like, I
think he's just trying to protect Ricochet really at the end of the day, because who cares that Chris Hero was the friend? He was he didn't hesitate at all to write that, right?
Like, we want to know is Ricochet going to be, he was on Dynamite last week. Like, is he going to be getting any kind of repercussions? Is he going to be getting fined? Is he going to be like, I don't want to see him fired. That's one thing I don't want to do, because I don't want to see anybody. I don't want to see anybody lose their job. But I mean, is he going to get fired or fined? Is he going to get suspended? Like, is he going to have to do some kind of charity work? Is he going to have to, work with an organization so we can really open his eyes and, see what kind of disease MS really legitimately is? Because I don't really feel like he grasped what it is. This needs to be a learning lesson to never happen again. And, if it does happen again, something similar happens again, he will have to be cut loose, I think. But they just need, AW talent need their social medias monitored, man, because they have too much freedom and it ends up getting them in trouble.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And that's the thing too. I just want this to be said. I don't hate Sean Ross Sapp. I don't hate Dave Meltzer. I don't hate any of these guys.
I hate the favoritism.
But I don't like the favoritism, and I don't like the bullshit at the end of the day. And Sean Ross Sapp, I get how he gets the clicks, how he gets the views. I don't like the whole I'm a tough guy act. Just the two things I could say out of all of this is do better.
I will say, if you end up cutting this up and posting this as a clip or whatever, I do want to say this just in case you do end up doing that. If Sean would like to invite either me or you onto his platform, whatever, and have a civilized discussion, the conversation, no shouting, no screaming, nothing like that.
Yeah.
I'd 100% be down for it.
See, like I said, I have a lot of respect for Sean Ross Sapp and what he does, because it's not easy. I am he's always more than welcome to come here on the We Are Wrestling pod, and I'm all open to having a civil conversation about this.
The invite is extended, Mr. Sapp, if you would like to oblige.
Yeah, because I also would love to hear his perspective on all of this too, because at the end of the day, we're just seeing what's online, and that's what we're talking about. We're talking about this Ricochet thing because people clearly give a fuck. And that's why we're giving our opinion and our thoughts. And the thing is, Fightful, Sean Ross Sapp, they wouldn't have been involved in it if they had just covered the news like they're supposed to do.
Exactly. And just because Sapp was on vacation, I mean, there's 5 or 6 other people that work for Fightful that write the articles, and so there's really no excuse.
Yeah, exactly. And he was already on Twitter going back and forth with fans. So you're telling me you couldn't. But then again, I would love to hear from his perspective, because like I said, we are not in the day of a life of Sean Ross Sapp, and I'm sure it's pretty fucking hard. So like I said, I have all the respect in the world for Sean Ross Sapp. I just think the favoritism is just bullshit, and I'm going to leave it as that. And there shouldn't be no death threats for Samantha Irvin or Ricochet over this.
Exactly.
Too.
So.
And that's
if you guys want to tweet, if you guys want to go on Twitter and fucking spam tweet fucking Sean Ross Sapp, send him this clip, let him know that the invite is extended if he would like to come on the show, even if it's for 15, 20 minutes, talk about it, the invite is there. So,
and that's the thing too, before he says, oh, we're doing this for clicks and attention.
Not even close.
It's hey man, it's man, Sean Ross Sapp, hell yeah, give us the rub, man. We'll take the 15 minutes of fame.
I watch his the Hump live streams every Wednesday before Dynamite. That's what I do.
Like I said, I respect him. Everybody involved here, do better. But is there anything else before we close off this week's episode?
No, I mean, I think we covered it all. Dynamite's going to be starting in 20 minutes. I'm kind of intrigued to see what the EVP status is going to be, and I'm kind of intrigued to see Kenny Omega versus Swerve. So we should end it here.
Absolutely. All right. Well, to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there, if you haven't checked out ProWrestlingTees.com, we have the brand new We Are Wrestling.
Buy the shirts.
They're available now on Pro Wrestling Tees with a bunch of other We Are Wrestling shirts. If you guys want to go get yourself some merch, link is down in the description box below. But if you guys enjoyed this week's episode of the We Are Wrestling podcast, make sure to smash that like button now. If you're not a best one yet already and you want more awesome pro wrestling content, recommend you guys to hit that subscribe button now, turn on the post notifications. If you're listening to this, wherever you get your podcast, give us a 5-star review, not just any review, a best one review, and download this episode. It really helps get this podcast out to more wrestling fans. If you guys haven't checked out the Zach Gowen interview that we did last week on the We Are Wrestling pod, that is available now everywhere, which Zach Gowen shared lots of cool things that he hasn't talked about anywhere else. I think it's a great listen. And we're also going to be trying to bring on more people throughout the year. So definitely stay tuned. We just hit 7,900 subscribers as well. So thank you guys for that. Man. 100 subs until we reach 8K. Once we get there, we're going to be doing a massive giveaway for you awesome people. Links down in the description box below. Go follow Rage over on his Twitch channel, his social medias. Danny, I'll let you plug your stuff right now, and then I'll plug my shit.
Yeah, you can follow. I'm Danny Huckins PW on all social platforms, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Follow, subscribe to me on YouTube. I just hit 2,400 subscribers, and I go live for Raw. I go live for SmackDown. I sometimes go live for AEW and all the PLEs, the pay-per-views, or whatever stuff that you don't get over here is usually what you get over on my channel. So come in and hang out, man. I'll be live on Friday for SmackDown.
Absolutely. And one more thing I want to plug before I advertise my stuff. The Big Event New York vlog is coming out this Friday. We have two of the biggest vlogs of the year, happens every March and every November. Oh yeah, we got a big vlog coming out this Friday that once we get off of here, I am going to be working tirelessly, giving you guys the best footage, the best experience possible. The Big Event New York vlog will be out this Friday. Also, if you guys want to go follow me on my social medias, I am posting my pictures with all my meet and greets over there at BestOneDottie on Instagram. You can also follow me on Twitter at BestOneDottie, where I post just ridiculous things. Because like Max Caster said, Twitter is not a real place. Also, I do have a toy channel, BestOneDottie as well. I do figure reviews. I do toy hunts. And also this Friday on the toy channel, I'm going to be doing a massive haul video. My studio right now, let me turn around. It is a mess right now with a bunch of things that I got autographed, that I got signed. And the only way to see an in-depth review on all the things I got, the 8x10s, the nunchucks, the photo ops, the figures, all that stuff, is by checking out that video over on the BestOneDottie YouTube channel. So if you guys want to go check that out, link is down in the description box below. Also, shout out to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs I met at Big Event and Best Ones. Love you guys. But to all the We Are Wrestling Maniacs out there worldwide, we are taking over. Peace.